What is going on, everybody? It is episode 333 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett. I'm here with my co-host. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. I feel like we have a lucky number for the show today. The episode, it's like an angel number. Is that what they call it?
Yeah. In what context? Like because all the numbers are the same?
I don't know. I just know that a lot of people on the witch talk on TikTok think that angels use repeated numbers to send you secret messages.
Steve Ryman in the chat says 333 is only half evil.
Oh, is it evil?
Well, because 666 is evil, so therefore 333 is half evil.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't know.
And today's episode is way different from yesterday's episode because our guests switched sides of the table.
Yes, they're in different shots. You can see it here. Look, they're in different spots there. See?
Yes, it's Hannah Claire and Dane today again.
Hi, Hannah Claire.
Oh, hey, how are you guys?
Good. How you doing?
I'm back. Yeah, I'm good. How are you guys?
It's been a long time since we saw you.
It's been hours and hours, really. I think that we don't see each other all the time.
Busy day?
Yeah, I mean, it's a kind of crazy news week, as you
I like
guys
that you can
know.
see both laptops in your
I know.
shot.
One is the Pop Culture Crisis laptop, and then one is my work laptop.
It's not quite the same as Carter's. Carter like unloads a bunch of equipment when he comes here, and it looks like a space station.
Yes,
like,
he has a spaceship control panel in front of him.
He's
every
prepared,
time.
man.
And Dane is here as well, my friend.
Hello, I'm here with the ankle cam.
Yes. Be careful. You don't want to show too much.
No, I want to show them puppies.
You're an engaged man. You should probably talk to your lady about this.
We're open about it.
Seems inappropriate to me. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's fine. Just charge. Make sure you charge. You got to make your bag, King.
Yeah, you guys better be showing out in the super chats because of the Dane ankle cam today.
Exactly. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. The Victoria Alonso situation has kind of continued to evolve. A lot of channels are covering it. I just want to make it more of an overview of why you never hire activists. It's a good rule to live by, whether you're Disney, Warner Brothers, or any company. So we're going to talk about the exit of Victoria Alonso, the potential lawsuits, Kevin Feige, all that stuff. We're going to talk about the impending layoffs that are going on at Disney. It's been between Victoria Alonso, layoffs, Jonathan Majors. This is Disney's no good, very bad week, last week and a half, I think. So we're going to talk about that. We are also going to talk about the trial of the century, if it was up to the mainstream media. They're loving this Gwyneth Paltrow case that nobody else they can't seem to get people.
Loving it.
Mary's loving it.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm saying, but
I saw this case that was like in a case whiter than Mitt Romney at a Mayo convention.
Yes.
A wealthy doctor says he couldn't taste wine after being hit by Gwyneth Paltrow on skiing.
He was a sommelier, and now he's lost his sense of smell.
I just love it. Like, it just gets whiter as the sentence goes on. And I'm proud of my culture, you know? But it's like rich doctor, wine tasting, famous actress, skiing.
Did he really say that? Or is that was a meme? I hope that was a meme.
I think that he did. I don't think he's a sommelier. I think he said, like, after that they were supposed to go wine tasting, and he
imagine like being a former sommelier who got in a ski accident that made your sense of smell go away.
I just think he meant like we had this vacation planned and she ruined it for me. I was supposed to do fun things.
I thought the quote was that
he
couldn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it's not even that he can't taste it. It's that when he's drinking wine, he's like, oh, Gwyneth Paltrow.
He's suffering.
It is an extremely. I said like there was the picture of her looking really disapproving, and I just said like it looks like somebody just mixed up Chateau and Chalet. Like it is like that's what it looks like. She's like she knows the difference because she's rich and NIMBY.
In a case whiter than Mitt Romney at a Mayo convention.
Exactly. So we're gonna talk about that. The media loves it. I think they're trying to make it like the Johnny Depp of this year, and they're just like it's not hitting the same way. But we'll get
better.
It's lower stakes.
Way more fun.
Yes, it's better because it's lower stakes.
Yeah, it's so we're gonna get into that, and we're also going to talk about this actress from the television show You, who has decided that in order to fight sexism, sexualization, and objectification, she was going to post a nude selfie in the mirror. So women problems. It's it's a thing.
Because that makes sense.
Cap. So we're gonna talk about that. We got a bunch of other stuff to get into. So if you're ready, Mary, we can get right into it. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Dana, you ready?
Yep.
Anna Claire.
I'm ready.
All right. So to get started, I actually want to start us off on some bad news, and then I've got a little bit of good news. So the first little bit of bad news, guys, is they've added the main stars to Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel, and that is unfortunately Kumail Nanjiani and Patton Oswalt. So remember, I talk a lot here about the idea of separating art from artist. Given how much I really enjoyed the first Ghostbusters Afterlife, you're going to have to really learn how to separate the art from the artist, given Patton Oswalt is Patton Oswalt. And Kumail Nanjiani's the guy who started talking about how, it's no longer just about masculinity or toxic masculinity. He started trashing traditional masculinity. And
Why are you anti-Patton Oswalt, if I can ask?
Because he's Patton Oswalt.
He's a bitch.
He's awful.
Why?
He's just awful.
I literally know very little about him.
Sorry.
Other than his wife was like very into true crime, and she had like a big role in the Golden State Killer thing.
He's annoyingly political on social media, and it's like when you see a guy with that punchable of a face, you're
like
annoying.
what politics?
He was very TDS, very heavy TDS at a time when it was very fashionable to do so. But in general, also
he denied Chappelle. He took a picture
yes,
with
he
him.
posted a picture with Dave Chappelle, and then people are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you take a picture with a transphobe." And they were like, "He's like, hey guys, I'm sorry," because he's a whiny bitch. So he sucks. So you're gonna have to let those two go. I will give him credit about one thing. He was in an absolutely tragic and highly underrated episode of the show Dollhouse that actually has a story kind of similar to what happened to his wife, in that in the show Dollhouse, you can basically people who work for this company have their minds wiped, and you can upload somebody's consciousness into this person. And he was a widow whose wife died, and every year on their anniversary, he would have one of the blanks his wife's consciousness uploaded to it so he could spend the day with her. And it was actually a really good sci-fi episode in the middle of it was a good high concept sci-fi episode in the middle of what would be normally considered pulp sci-fi. So he did that good. So I don't want him anywhere near Ghostbusters. Bring Paul Rudd back. I'd rather have Paul Rudd.
Yeah,
so,
no Paul Rudd.
I don't know if he's going to be involved, but they said he's going to be back, and Carrie Coon will be back, because obviously Carrie Coon has to be back because she's the child's mother. So. And also, it's the kid. It was the kid that led that movie. That was the one that carried that whole thing on her tiny little shoulders. If it didn't work with her, it wouldn't have worked at all.
McKenna Grace,
she was,
right?
Yeah, McKenna Grace. She was on screen for 80% of the movie. So as long as she's in it and they limit Patton Oswalt as much as possible, if I had to choose between the two, Kumail Nanjiani maybe fits in that world better.
Well,
I don't know.
If an actor has TDS and is still able to act well, it doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't. I'm whining now, but as you know, when we watch these movies, we have to ignore a lot, and that's fine. But Patton Oswalt sucks, so I can still say that. And I've got a little bit of good news in this context. If you guys remember the video, "Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife," the one.
Yeah.
I do.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Iconic.
Well,
How can we forget?
Antoine Dodson has given the go-ahead for white people to use black memes.
Thank you.
He says it's good. You're good.
Okay.
What is he up to these days?
He got into real estate, and now he's got he's selling alcohol. He's got a lager company.
Hustling.
Yes, he's got his own business and everything like that. He
Entrepreneur.
He made a bunch of money off of that. The kids who made that video ended up getting in contact with him, and he did well off the sales of that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Also,
song.
real estate seems like a perfect
fit for him.
Yeah, hide your kids. It's not safe here, but you know where it is safe? Over here. I'll sell you a house.
Exactly.
I love that. Yeah.
Exactly. So basically, he said that when he goes to these events, he literally says white people pay better. I'll read his quote. He says he doesn't really do black sponsored engagements because it doesn't compare to the treatment he might get from whites, as he puts it. If white people are only out to make him a punchline for their amusement, they're going to expensive lengths to do so. Obviously, we all know that CNN introducing the meme segregation debate again is a race hustle beyond above and beyond all race hustles. Digital blackface, yeah.
Discussion.
Which is a couple years old. They actually
incredibly
reintroduced
outdated.
it. Yeah, they've reintroduced that because CNN's it's been this many days since we've tried to destroy the fabric of society.
There's no news today. Let's just race hustle.
Yeah. I also heard, I can't confirm this because I didn't have time to look it up, that apparently that whole case that was based on was that was actually the girl's boyfriend that was in the house.
Who broke into our house?
And then they said that that's what happened because she didn't want to admit that she had her boyfriend there. Somebody would have to fact check me on that. I vaguely remember reading that when I was doing a deep dive in the sport. But
I want to see the fact check on that.
My memories.
They also remember being her kid was with her and all kinds of things that would make that story very strange.
In more good news, ladies and gentlemen, Cocaine Bear got to officiate a wedding. No? Yes.
Incredible.
Isn't that the authentic
Cocaine Bear themed wedding?
It says TMZ broke the story that Kentucky natives Alexandra and Armando were set to say "I do" on Monday in Kansas City, and then basically, you can see the picture there. He's got the top hat on. And they said,
Why
a
is
la
there
Pablo
a rainbow
Escobar.
flag in the background?
That's a very good question. I have
This
no
is a
idea.
straight couple.
Yes, I have no idea.
You never know these days.
You never know.
I guess
you're just being allies, you
Yep.
know?
Yeah.
Never a wrong time to support, I guess.
Allies to bears and
said-
bears.
They said Cocaine Bear even dressed up for the monumental occasion, swapping out his raccoon skin headwear for a top hat. Classy move. I like it.
I think it'd be cool if people did have bears at their weddings. Just like
Live
tame
bears.
domestic bears. Do you
Live
ever see those videos of people in Russia who have like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
domesticated bears? It's the best.
And then everyone replies to it being like, "This is abusive."
No,
you know
no,
what
it-
they do to those bears in the circus.
I think the bear could leave if
Yeah.
it wanted to. If it really wanted to go, it probably could.
The bear's outside. It could just leave if it wanted. Are they going to go bring it back? I don't think so.
Probably.
Also, all those headlines are always like, meanwhile in Russia.
Yes.
It's like a
Well,
couple hugging a bear in their living room.
The other video I like, I keep seeing it. I don't know how viral it is, but it's this girl, like she's filming from her back door or whatever, and she lives in some woodsy area with a lake, and she's like, "Hi, Mr. Bear. Thank you for not hurting my kayak." And the bear looks at her and then walks directly to the kayak and like flips it over. And she's like, "Please, no, don't."
that's why-
Kayak, and the bear's like, "No, immediately
You
no."
gotta send me that.
He's like, "Yeah, I'll find it." It keeps getting like suggested to me, and I like it because it's like she was thanking him for something, and it like put the idea in his head. Also, how could he possibly know what a kayak is?
My
It's
favorite
great.
video is a guy jumping on a trampoline, another guy hitting a like a boxing bag, and then a bear eating honey.
What?
It's just that. It's
all
literally
in
that.
the same video.
Yeah, it's a guy like.
Is it called non sequitur? It's just a bunch of things that have nothing to do with one another. I like it. I like
It's
it.
the
That's the way my
greatest video ever.
This
brain
reminds
works.
me of Ray William Johnson from Equals 3.
Oh my God, were you even alive for that?
I was alive and probably shouldn't have been allowed to watch it, but I did.
Mary, who like wasn't allowed to watch Disney princesses, but
Still
yeah.
watched Ray William Johnson
know,
because the internet was just new territory.
I mean, he cracked the internet.
yeah, he really
figured
did.
it out, huh?
In what
Yeah.
way? In what way? How would you explain
What do
that?
He's literally the first reaction channel ever. Even
He
before like the
did meme review before meme review.
yeah, he's literally meme review.
All right.
I miss him.
Legend.
All right, I got a couple of other small announcements here. Questlove from The Roots, if you like The Roots, he's going to direct a live-action hybrid adaptation of the Aristocats. Do you remember the Aristocats?
Yeah, I love it. It's classic.
Yeah,
It's
like
a terrible
they're gonna-
idea, and I hate it
So
immediately.
the question is are they going to make the humans like? It'd be funny if they made the cats live action, but the humans animated.
yeah, because the
Whoa.
human cats movie was so great. I
Yes.
definitely
It
watched
was so like not visually scarring.
Why do
I
we
love
have,
that idea though.
Why do we have to do this? Like, why do we have to
Disney?
remake good things? I don't understand. The Aristocats is a classic. I think other than the time that they like re-released it, like with enhanced color or whatever they did, it was probably still VHS. Like, let's just leave it alone. It's a classic. Show your kids this version.
Well, most people
Also,
probably
can't he
will.
just come up with his own thing? Why does he have to do this?
Well, he won an award. He won an Oscar for best documentary last year, and that's what got him this job.
What? It's not a documentary. It's a movie about cartoon cats.
Yeah, but it was a documentary about music, and there's gonna be music in the new one.
I hope-
That
There's
is
music in every
grasping
movie.
for straws. That is the most ridiculous.
You're like saying this
explanation.
is such a matter of fact way, like it makes sense, and it,
It
just
does not
doesn't.
make sense.
I hope Hannah Claire becomes famous and then
Plenty of
she gets a
directors-
documentary.
Plenty of filmmakers go from documentaries to.
It's a documentary
to
about music, and so therefore I gave him a job as a person creating elevators because they have music in them.
Exactly.
Like, what are you talking about? There's no connection.
Directing is directing if you're creative. You can still figure it out.
This
It's a
does
different
not
medium.
need to happen, Brett. You can't defend it.
I'm not defending it happening. I'm
Are-
explaining to you
Also
Disney's thought
next.
process.
that
Lady and
doesn't
the
make
Tramp.
any sense. This is why Disney's terrible.
Yeah. Well, we're today, and they're going to pay for that today, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and get right into it.
We had this guy who was an amazing Italian chef, so we gave him a fish market because we figured close enough.
exactly.
Brett,
So-
you're forgetting cringe of the day.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to brace myself for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Let me double check and make sure I can find it here. Did I take that one down?
I sent it to you.
No, I have it here. Okay, guys.
Brett really didn't want to do this one.
I
by
have
the
a
way.
hard time with music cringe. Bad singing cringe is one of those things that just it hurts me to my soul because I just feel bad for them. So let's go ahead and
Yeah.
listen to this. All right. Oh.
And sometimes I go out by myself
Slow down.
and I look across the water.
Say all the words. Don't cut the words off.
Since you've been around and my body's
just
been a mess.
What
And
is
I
this?
miss your ginger
Enunciate
American
the
Idol.
word.
You know where you like to try that way.
Okay.
Is she being coached in this, or was that an audition?
This is an auditioning. I'm completely understanding Katy Perry's
I can't do it,
react.
man.
See, I sort of like.
Wait, go to the
stop.
replies and click on that one.
This one?
Yeah.
Welcome to my
What?
It's literally that meme.
I can't. That is, I feel uncomfortable with that whole thing.
But that's the point of cringe of the day.
Bad music just feels,
I mean,
it feels mean.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was like the original point of watching the American Idol's auditions.
Yeah. The
They
bad
always had like the
auditions.
good ones, but then they had so many bad or weird or uncomfortable ones.
We always wanted the bad ones, not the good ones.
I didn't want the bad ones. And in the chat, they're saying, what the hell is Katy Perry wearing?
Yeah,
She's
I mean,
trying to
this
be
is-
like a youth teen over here with her
Moo.
semi-western
what is
cow print.
the person auditioning wearing? She's wearing something ridiculous too.
Katy
She's wearing
Perry's
like a robe with
They're all
feathers on
trying
it.
to get famous from singing, guys. We can't expect anything else.
Katy Perry's like moo, and this lady's like.
Why is she barefoot?
That
remember her
might be
That's a
better
great
question.
point.
That's a fantastic.
She's dressed like she just hopped out of bed.
That seems like a health hazard to me. That's all I'm saying. Seems like a
Yeah.
health hazard. All right, guys. Now that Hannah Claire has made her point known that Disney is an awful company, we are going to continue talking about Disney's no good, very bad week. First, it was Jonathan Majors. Now we've got Victoria Alonso, which has all been playing out over the last couple of weeks. Basically, what has happened is she breached her contract producing a movie called Argentina 1985 in 2022. It took years to produce before that. And she wanted to make this movie. Disney said, you can't make this movie. She made it anyways. They renegotiated her contract, let her make it. They said, but you can't promote the movie. She promoted it anyways. And now she's using her identity status, her various identity characteristics as a bludgeon in the media to try and get Disney to pay out to her because they did not pay out upon firing her.
Were they just mad because it was being produced by Amazon Studios?
Because it wasn't a Disney. In her
and she's in
contract,
breach of contract.
Yeah, she's in breach of contract.
They're
She's
not totally
allowed.
being unreasonable in that
No,
one.
they're being completely reasonable in this case. But they, even after she did this, they renegotiated the contract in a way that would allow her to do it and said, but you can't be
there
visible
are
and
some
promote
part,
it.
yeah.
But she just said, the hell with you guys, I'm promoting it anyways.
Well, this is what her attorney said to The Hollywood Reporter. The idea that Victoria Alonso was fired over a handful of press interviews relating to a personal passion project about human rights and democracy. Okay, this is already preachy.
Yep.
That was nominated for an Oscar.
Again,
which
why
she
does
got-
Disney? Why the hell would Disney
That would
care
not
if
help
they were-
Disney. It's nominated for an Oscar that we won't get credit for.
And which she got Disney's blessing to work on only after she was in breach of contract is absolutely ridiculous. Victoria, a gay Latina who had the courage to criticize Disney, was silenced. Then she was terminated when she refused to do something she believed was reprehensible. Disney and Marvel made a really poor decision that will have serious consequences. There's a lot more to this story, and Victoria will be telling it shortly in one form or another.
In another documentary.
Yes, about
Yeah.
her. Well, she's got a book coming out.
Well, yes, I didn't realize this, but she has a memoir that's coming out later this year called Possibility is Your Superpower. Could
Thank
you
you.
be more precious and
Yes.
sentimental?
Yeah.
It's almost nauseating.
Also, guys, before we continue, could you hit the like button on this video and subscribe to this channel, please? Thank you very much. And remember, we will interrupt any and all discussions, no matter how in-depth they may be, to read your $20 super chats if you do have them. She also, one of the big things they point out is that she was very critical of Bob Chapek for not doing enough during the Disney's initial ignoring of Don't Say Gay.
It's easy for you to say that from the sidelines.
Exactly.
You know, so
Yeah.
I guess she said this at the GLAAD Awards last year.
Yes.
If you're a member of the LGBTQIA community and you work at the Walt Disney Company, the last 2 or 3 weeks have been a sad event, referring to the Don't Say Gay bill.
Womp, womp.
I've asked Mr. Chapek for courage in a 45-minute sit-down. I asked him to look around and truly, if what we sell is entertainment for the family, we don't choose what family. Family is this entire room. Family is the family in Texas, Arizona, Florida, and in my family, in my home. So I ask you again, Mr. Chapek, please respect, if we're selling family, take a stand against all these crazy, outdated laws. Take a stand for family. Stop saying that you tolerate us. Nobody tolerates me, let me tell you that.
Well, they don't
That's a
tolerate it.
Freudian
They fire
slip
them.
if I ever heard one. You tolerate the heat in Florida, the humidity in Arizona or Florida. It's not humid in Arizona. The dryness in Arizona and Texas, and you tolerate a tantrum in a 2-year-old. This is literally what you're doing, chick. But you don't tolerate us. We deserve the right to live, love, and laugh. Sorry, to have. More importantly, we deserve an origin story.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
That doesn't mean anything.
I think she's saying because like the bill, which is actually the Parental Bill of Rights, is saying you're not supposed to teach like political history, basically.
Yeah.
Like she's saying you're not letting us say where gay people come from, and therefore you're bigoted.
If you can tolerate a tantrum from a 2-year-old, she asks, why not tolerate a tantrum from me, a 52-year-old?
Yep. Raising the stakes even further, a Disney spokesperson fired back at her attorney's claim, saying it's unfortunate that Victoria is sharing a narrative that leaves out several key factors concerning her departure, including an indisputable breach of contract and a direct violation of company policy. The spokesperson told the Times, they said, we will continue to wish her best for her future and thank her for her numerous contributions to the studio. While they're like, just like, Disney's like with their unending just parade of lawyers.
No, I think it's funny because
Like-
they have to be like,
Yeah.
they put this position where they like have to protect and praise certain people no matter what. So
Yep.
even though they're like, she 110% violated the contract that we negotiated for her after she violated her original contract. But anyway, she's really contributed and we're very grateful to have worked with her. Like it's such a bizarre position to be in. I mean, I don't understand how she justified it, right? Like,
She's
Her
Because
saying
she's a gay
this is like-
Latina
she's
making
gay
a
Latina, she
passion
can do whatever she
project
wants.
that got an Oscar. Or sorry, was
that's my
nominated
thing,
for
like,
an Oscar.
If she felt like this was her passion project and it was getting that much attention, like, then leave Disney. Be like, yeah, you're right. I'm in violation of contract. I'll see you guys later. I can't stay here.
Whenever someone has the confidence to be this outwardly stupid, I'm always like astounded.
Yeah. Well, she's made a lot of money, and I'm sure she's got more than enough to cover her stupidity. But what they're saying here basically is that she can pretend it's about being silenced. She can pretend it's about this and that. What it comes down to is money. They fired her without pay. I love the idea also that when you're at a certain tax bracket, you're just expected to get a severance package. Like most people, when you get fired, you get fired without pay. But
mean,
when
it'd be part
you're
of her contract.
when you're a Disney executive, you're gonna usually get a severance package of some sort. But if she's
I
in
think
breach
that
of contract,
she'll be just fine.
yeah,
without
it says Puck News says Beyond Glacier dropping a headline generation bomb on Friday that a gay Latina was silenced for speaking out against her company's handling of Florida's Don't Say Gay bill. It's simply a money fight.
That's not really what it was.
No, it's
right?
not. What is interesting this article points out is that Disney could have simply ended the battle by paying Alonso, but Disney chose not to do that.
She's just weaponizing her sexuality and her nationality.
I mean, she is telling you, she's definitely reinforcing the point that if you're the first one to control the narrative, you're going to win, right? This is about Disney. Basically, they're implying Disney's homophobic by silencing this gay person when actually she's in complete violation of her contract and it has nothing to do with her sexuality at all. It has to do with the fact that she is not supposed to be doing certain things by the bounds of her agreement with the company.
One of the other thing that was interesting that was pointed out in the Puck News article is that they say that she never had much power at Disney, that was kind of a facade. They said she had a habit of belittling behavior towards vendors and relentless self-promotion, which is everybody.
No, this
at the-
girl,
yeah, I know,
self-promotion?
right?
But also they said she would blacklist anyone who crossed her or opposed her in any way. I don't know what that means exactly, but
Are you saying that a gay Latina woman is emotionally unstable?
And catty? They just can't even understand.
It's actually
You're telling me this woman behaves super emotionally and vindictively. I just can't put it together.
I don't see it.
I
why-
just think that's crazy.
It's why, toxic males are actually make better CEOs. Look at Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was a horrible human being who would do business with anybody, no matter how bad they had talked about each other in the past. If you could make the company money, there was a possibility you were coming back to do business with WWE. It doesn't matter what you said. Like, you could have said the most heinous things about Vince, his daughter, his wife. As long as you were going to bring them a profit, he didn't care. Like, you're coming back, and they will bring you back. I just don't know if Victoria Alonso would have been able to behave with the same kind of ruthless capitalist aggression.
No, she can't. I mean, if she really thought this project was worth it, she would have been able to see, hey, if I think it's worth promoting, I'm going to lose out on this payout, right?
Yeah.
She could have, tried to work out a deal where she leaves and she gets some kind of severance, but instead she's like thrown herself into this very strange mess because she decided she was above the rules.
What's also interesting about this situation is she seems to, I guess, have a level of contempt for the content that she was overseeing at Marvel.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, I wouldn't feel any differently, I guess, if I were head of the VFX department for Marvel and realized how soulless that content really is, looking at it from the inside. But the fact that she has this passion project of hers on the side that is totally on the other side of the spectrum, and it's like super, like takes itself super seriously as like an art project.
Here's the problem.
It's like she's trying to like ride off of the salary and the security of the vehicle that being an employee, an executive at Disney gives her, but use it to make content that's nothing like what Disney would fund or produce. And she's appearing at the Oscars not as a Marvel executive, but as the filmmaker of Argentina 1985,
and as a woman,
which shows and as a gay Latina, which shows where her loyalties truly lie.
It's also
she's
funny.
just being entitled. She thinks that she deserves the salary. Disney is lucky to have her. Marvel is lucky to have her, but also she should be allowed to do whatever she wants. That her project should be more important than any legally binding agreement that she has, and her interest should always come first. And Disney should put her interests above their company, which is a ridiculous way to operate.
Dude, but I feel like this is the psychology of all the protected classes right now.
Yeah.
Like anytime any of them get any minor push, it's like, well,
yeah,
you're targeting me because of my identity, which
Yeah.
I am the
You
only one
always
who's brought
know-
up in this conversation.
You have that safety net behind you if you act like this. She was behaving this way, doing multiple violations of her contract because she knew that she had this to fall back on, her identity to fall back on.
But they legitimately think that it's like the royal flush of arguments. It's like, oh, well, minority.
This is not new to Disney. Marvel Comics has their own version of Victoria Alonso named Sana Amanat, who's very much in the same category. Never cared
Maybe
about
they
the source
should
material.
be business partners.
Well, and this is probably not the first time, right? Like, she
No.
didn't just one day decide to do this one violation of contract. If we have this reputation of her as being difficult and vindictive, I suspect that she has conducted herself badly in the business for a long time. This idea, like, what was she promoting during all this self-promotion? She has put herself first at every turn. She's difficult to work with. Disney probably doesn't really want her around anyways. And then on top of that, she has no respect for the business that's theoretically supporting her.
And they said that she clashed both with Kevin Feige and with Alan Bergman. And Alan Bergman is Kevin Feige's boss. And Kevin Feige was her boss. Alan Bergman was his boss.
But she hasn't been fired through any of this. And
Yeah.
that's probably because they've been like, well, we got to keep her around. There's a reason we have to keep her around.
Yeah.
And Chapek is Bergman's?
Well, not Chapek
Or how many
anymore.
degrees
It would
of
have
separation
been
are there
Iger.
here?
It would have been Iger after that. So yeah. So
Iger, then
yeah.
Chapek.
No, Chapek's gone. So at that time it would have been Chapek,
Oh,
but yeah,
Chapek then
But
Iger.
it would be Iger now when she was fired. So yeah, it's why you don't hire activists. I don't think it got them any good. Another thing that annoys me about like how you framed it, like she had her passion project, is that her job could easily be done by people who have a passion for the source material, who could do an infinitely better job than she could.
But they're not as fun and diverse as she is.
But they don't have the social credit. They don't provide the social credit that she provides for them. So it's a shame, but it's also like when companies get to be as big as Disney and Marvel are, which is an unwieldy force now, you have to admit that there's always probably going to be bad actors that end up working for these companies. But that's how it started, right? They got activists who would get in at mid-level positions,
I
either
don't know
in hiring.
if it's activist. Like, it's
She's
just
an activist.
I think it's just entitlement.
I think she's
I
an
think
activist and she's self-entitled.
I think this is completely self-entitled. Like, it's so obvious that Disney's contract makes sense, right? Tons of companies have non-compete clauses. Like, not a big deal. They did her a favor by renegotiating it, even though she was already in violation. And she thinks that whatever she's doing, she could be making a documentary on literal paint drying, and she would be like, the work that I'm doing is so important, and how could you do this to me, a diverse woman of color? Like, it doesn't matter what the cause is. It's not about the activism. It's about the fact that she is doing it and she feels as though she should not be stopped. And that's, like, to me, one of the issues that we have generally with the morality in modern culture, right?
Yeah.
Like, self-entitlement is so rampant that you can't see where the boundaries of logic pen you in.
And in like it's a lot of it's probably like ends justify the means. She's like, yes, I didn't get permission to do this. Yes, I'm in breach of my contract.
But this story is so important to be told by me.
So important. When the real answer should be, yes, I didn't get permission to do this. Yes, this story is important. Therefore, I will quit my job and go produce it because I actually believe in what I'm doing. But that
She's
would require-
Argentinian, right?
She's Argentinian.
Or it's Argentine.
Argentine.
Imagine the strength of doing that.
Of like leaving the
If
marble.
she was genuinely about that life, it's like, listen, this is so important for me.
She's
Like
putting
this
down,
paycheck means nothing.
Yeah, she's like putting down the superhero movies in the process of praising her own work. She said, I've made a lot of stories about superheroes, and I've always wanted to tell a story about what happened in Argentina because I should have been one of those 30,000 people. She's referring to the disappearance of 30,000 people under this dictatorship. And it's literally like, I don't think you would have been one of those 30,000 people. It's weird to wish that you had been, but realistically, based on your personality, you would have been one of the dictators or tyrants in this situation. That's exactly how you act, but on a smaller scale.
I think if she felt like this story was important to her culturally, she felt like she identified with the missing people, great, super cool. Go work on that, right?
Yeah.
There's no reason that you should feel entitled to the salary and the job because of your identity, right? I'm not a huge fan of Disney, but obviously any company that has a major project would expect the people who are working on it to be dedicated to it. They can't put their self-interest above the things that the company needs to get done. And if you want to, that's fine. Just go independent or go work with a producer that's really interested in producing that story. To say that like your project and your own self-promotion are more important than everyone else on the team who relies on you, because she's sort of a linchpin, it seems like, in this universe of Marvel, or the structure of Marvel. Like, it's just so ridiculous to me.
Well, what's funny about that is it has bad and unintended consequences, which is now released. We found out that Disney is going to be laying off 7,000 people, and that process has just started. What it is,
But she thinks she should get a payout.
Yes.
She's happy for people to
yes.
get a layoff. Doesn't care about that. She does deserve money, though.
Yes.
Even though she made this really important thing.
Yeah. So they've started the process. They're looking to cut $5.5 billion by April 3rd for their next shareholder call. And the first department to go was the Next Generation Storytelling and Consumer Experience Group,
Wow.
which is as redundant of a group as I could possibly imagine something sounding.
Here's the importance of this story.
Yeah.
Okay, so companies typically, they see their years and quarters. And the fiscal year usually goes up to August, I think. That's like the end of the fiscal year, and usually the first quarter of the other year is until December.
It ends in September normally, right? And it goes next fiscal year. That's how the government works, at least.
Oh, I don't know about the government, but I know like the nonprofits that I would work for, like they would end in August, and then the first quarter of the next fiscal year is up until December. So with my argument that I say progressivism, but like wokeness is dying, is that so the April then would be kind of like a third quarter or half quarter-ish kind of review. And they're like, okay, so we're taking major hits, let go of all these jobs. If it doesn't pick up from that, and they keep up this strategy, which they probably will, because usually the content calendars for corporations like this are years planned. Yeah,
of course.
After that, I'm telling you, will be like the end of wokeness, in my opinion, because when you've done the admission of massive layoffs, naturally it's because of like fiscal responsibility, and your
Disney Plus isn't bringing in the numbers they wanted.
No.
The movies aren't bringing in the numbers they wanted. Me and Mary talk a lot about post-profit era. I think what we found, Mary, is actually something worse. It's not that it's a post-profit era. It's that it's a post-profit era where the only people that are going to end up losing their jobs are not the ones causing any of the problems. So people can make bad movies. Executives can make the decision to have bad movies made. All of those people will continue to move up, while the people who run the lower end of the departments are all the ones that are going to get cut. The guy who runs this
That's a
department...
messed up point. That's insane.
The guy who runs this department, Mike White, who's been with Disney for 10 years. He's going to stay there. They said he's likely to stay there. He'll get another position.
Because they kind of randomly assigned him there while they're shuffling people around.
So the next generation storytelling and consumer experience group was essentially their Metaverse group. They were looking to figure out ways in which they could incorporate the Metaverse into Disney.
Physical and digital worlds.
Yes, they wanted to combine physical and digital worlds, and that cost them about 50 jobs. But that's not it. They also said that the layoffs have begun with TV production and acquisitions, which means that media and entertainment divisions of Disney, obviously remember, Disney is a large conglomerate with tons of departments, not all of which are media and television. The largest number of cuts are coming from media and television division, which have been leaderless without a head since November.
Wow.
So they're just kind of, what I guess rudderless would be the term, like flapping in the wind. They just pushed back all the Marvel shows. Maybe it is, I don't want to laugh or enjoy something like this because I don't like the idea that the faceless people are losing their jobs. I don't know what those people believe. They're working for a company in-house, but
I don't know. I mean, are we really losing that
Yeah.
much value when we lose their Metaverse department that they made to seem trendy?
But I'm looking at the stock right now, and it's been, I mean, the pattern is they're going down.
Yeah.
Like they're not doing well. They're doing great, I guess, compared to a bunch of companies, but as a whole, they're not doing well. And you know, that point you made is really honestly chilling. That some people can go give the company like this emotional and spiritual direction, and other people pay the consequences. That's honestly disgusting. But you know, I feel like that needs to happen for the whole company then to reevaluate whatever it is they're doing.
I mean, really, other companies will do this too. When your stock starts to drop, when you're not making money, when you have failed projects, you go through your leadership and you come through and make changes, right? And Disney could do that, and that would potentially not protect all of them, but would protect some of the people who are sort of more boots on the ground. They actually get stuff done as opposed to leading departments and having conceptual ideas, right? But I think initially, also like a lot of other companies, they're going to try and cut their budgets to keep those top leadership positions in place because they see them as having some sort of value, right?
Right.
Well, like long-term connection to a company is big for executives, right? Because they've built relationships inside the company and out that help that add value to their job resume.
I don't think all executives are useless, but
No, I'm saying
Disney,
to them the opposite. They see them as extremely valuable.
But not all of them are extremely valuable,
No.
right? I mean, for every executive who is valuable, there are probably 5 workers that are definitely valuable. And so it seems hard that the pattern of layoffs is to cut, people who are newest or people who are in departments that, like I don't care if they cut the Metaverse department. That seems like a great idea. Metaverse is stupid. I think we should all note that Metaverse is the first thing on the chopping block because we don't actually need Metaverse. Like when you are going through a phase where you have to be more careful on what you're spending, you let go of the things that are not necessities first. I just think there are probably executives that could also step down because large scale companies have so much bureaucracy, right? Like it's not even like the executive, it's the executive and then the vice executive under him and then the vice executive secretary. And I hate to be mean to that person, but like that whole trio doesn't need to be there.
Let's actually watch the video of the Metaverse employee to prove to you what bureaucracy looks like at Fortune 500.
It was
Facebook, but
person.
this is what
Iron
you're
Man?
talking. This is what you're talking about when you talk about overt bureaucracy from these companies. So let's go ahead and watch this here. This was I think this was posted the other day. So volume on.
Experience at Meta and how I hated it and how they fired me after 6 months. The number one question I get is, why did I get fired? I feel like I have to talk about this at least once a quarter, so here we go. I started Meta at, September, October of 2021. It was cool. I was like, oh my God, I love social media. I didn't have a following then. I didn't even have a TikTok. After I started my job at Meta, I posted a TikTok about Meta and my benefits. I would always see these day in the life videos and they'd be so cool of like people going into the Google office and
What they were eating.
God.
and I worked remotely, so I didn't
to be a
have
boss
like
girl
free
influencer.
food and all that other stuff. I had a really amazing benefits package.
Did you hear that? She didn't get free food, guys.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Oh,
Crap.
Yeah, that's all right.
Paste.
I can go
You
back.
accidentally clicked on there.
Let's watch that video instead.
So I made a TikTok. It just happened to go viral. It was like maybe my third TikTok I've ever made. And I usually never talked about work before this, and I never talked about
And all
recruiting.
3
because to me, work
TikToks.
is work. And I thought that was obvious. So anyways, I talk about benefits at Meta, and it goes viral. And then I get a bunch of questions. People think it's like an ad for Meta to work there. I was just sharing my benefits because they give you $4,000 in baby cash. If you have a baby, they will give you $4,000. I just thought that was crazy. And they gave you, at the time, $3,000 for childcare reimbursement, which for childcare is nothing, but it's also better than nothing. You know what I mean?
$3,000.
Anyways, so it went viral. A lot of people who worked at Meta saw it. It wasn't a big deal. They were like, oh my God, I loved your video. Until it was a big deal. And then they stopped loving my video.
She made $190,000 a year, and they didn't put her in any projects for the first 6 months.
Well, what they did was they hired her as a recruiter on a team of recruiters and then put in a hiring freeze immediately after they started.
Yeah.
So they literally had nothing to do but onboarding programs where you watch a bunch of pre-recorded videos about like diversity, equity, and inclusion. And
Guys, DC, the entire area is that.
Yeah.
It's just people charging like $2,000 for having lunch with you and being like, well, it sounds very complicated what you just said. Let me think about it and we'll discuss it in our next meeting where we shall also have lunch and I'll say it's complicated.
This
It's
lady
insane.
in this video says, like, I didn't know what I was doing, and my manager didn't know what she was doing either. And neither of us knew what we were doing. You're literally...
Wasn't her manager also a new hire?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why are we meeting? We're not hiring nobody. Just to hear how everybody else wasn't hiring anybody. And also, I was on a team where everybody was new, so none of us were hiring anybody.
Oh my God.
We were all just like trying to figure out things. None of us knew the answers to.
$190,000 a year.
It is kind of interesting to me that they're like, yeah, we weren't hiring anybody, so we did nothing. Like, wouldn't you then want to meet with heads of departments and be like, so when and if we lift this hiring freeze, like, what do you need? Wouldn't you want to know, like, what benefits are being offered? Like, it seems like it's sort of on them that they did nothing, if that makes sense.
It
Like,
just makes her look bad if this is her professional TikTok profile where she makes content about being in the workforce and her job and her expertise and stuff. It just makes her look terrible.
It seems like I get it. You can't actually literally hire someone, but then maybe this is time to like review the employee handbook.
This is what Disney is likely going to be doing now.
Yeah.
They're like, how many of these people are just hired to sit around and do nothing?
I will say, it sounds like she's framing it as like, actually, then my like, does she? I didn't watch the whole video, but like, does she imply at the end that like because she made this video she got fired?
No.
Okay.
No,
Because she does mention she gets laid off or something,
Yeah,
right? And so like, girl, of course you got laid off. You were in a hiring freeze, but also you didn't spend any energy trying to figure out ways to help the company, right?
If we ever try to hire someone whose public policy is that they enjoy this day in the life videos, I will do everything in my power to get this person fired.
I don't care about day
Everything
in
in
the life
my
videos.
power.
I don't care about day in the life videos.
Me and Mary just secretly watch those all day long up here.
But they're just like all.
Well.
If it's all just like tech girl bosses who live in San Francisco and spend a lot of money on rent, like I'm not interested. I think there are probably people who have interesting lives. Not everybody's lives is so interesting they deserve a day in the life video.
How could you watch someone with a vocal fry describe their breakfast, lunch, and dinner with that much passion?
Which were all catered. Yeah. It's funny how like farmers and homesteaders don't make day in the life videos
because they're actually living.
Probably because they have too much work to do.
There are some fantastic farm talks. There's
farm talk.
Oh yeah, there's hilarious and there's actually very good people who are very like not as funny as the ones who like there's like also channels that are dedicated to like pointing out people who are fake farmers who are like farming for clout.
Not farming enough.
Yeah,
you have a hobby farm, Lisa. Please immediately see yourself out.
So look, Disney has to start looking at what the hell they're going to do with their projects because you wouldn't have to lay off so many people if you manage to create revenue through your projects, which means it's not just
no more Strange World is what it means.
Yeah, like. But it's not just that. It's like if you made more movies that became iconic, that could be increased when you add those stories
original
to the
content that was disruptive to culture in a thought-provoking way.
See, I don't even think that matters to them now because they see. Well, no, it's not just about that. They see it as brand connection with their theme parks, and they would have to see it as like, look, you can get a new character popular, but that doesn't mean it's popular enough to make it a ride.
Has theme park attendance gone back up to pre-COVID levels?
That's going to take a long time.
That's what I mean.
For
if their theme parks are so important, then why did we not see people just scurry their way to every Disney theme park in the whole world. I don't think they are. I've never checked the numbers. If the theme parks were deciding what leads content, that would be a different story, but I don't think that's the case. They're just being led by whatever they think is easiest and which stuff that they think will win them the most sort of
like
woke
Aristocrats
points without
sequel,
without
the remake.
disrupting the content. Right. He's going, I mean, I feel like Aristocats they're going to ruin because they're going to try and insert all kinds of politics on it. I don't know if you've watched Aristocats recently. I have seen it at least 2 times a year ever since I got younger sisters. Oh yeah, because I have younger siblings.
Yeah.
And there was a song in the Aristocats there is no way they're remaking. And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
It?
There's like a vaguely
You can't just leave it at that.
stereotypical Asian cat in it.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
110%.
Oh wait, I remember that.
It's a classic song. You know, I don't think they're gonna do it again.
Yeah.
I think that they would not make that.
We're gonna get like all the headlines like we're updating Aristocats to fit modern sensitivities,
But
what
to
young
be
people
fair,
are looking for right
that
now.
song is what shows a lot of diversity. To be fair, again, they're all cats, so it's sort of stupid anyways.
Yeah.
But I think there are things Disney could do that they just won't do because they are too afraid of being denounced by culture. And so they have put themselves in this box where they can't make anything new and exciting. People are losing interest. People did not return to the theme parks the same way. Their merch will sort of linger forever, but not if they keep wrecking it by making these terrible remakes.
You see the have you seen the meme of like it's like the big black bear against the back of a truck and a guy's like behind him, it says it looks like he's being arrested. It says you wouldn't do this if I was a polar bear.
I think we just need more racially stereotyped cats.
Is that what we need?
No, we're going to get rid of all of them. Ruining our culture. I'm just kidding.
Look, after this, they're going to come for all of the... What I would like them to do, actually, is go really funny and make remakes of the bad straight-to-DVD animated movies like Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, or whatever it was. Like, start remaking those, because eventually they're never going to make new stuff. And all the new stuff that they make the new stuff does fine. Like, when people...
I just don't get
Moana did fine.
And,
like,
Moana...
Encanto did fine. People love Encanto.
And both of those were stories that were representative of cultures that hadn't been used before by Disney people. Like, when Disney started, it totally makes sense to me that we're like, what are the white Europeans up to? As probably everyone in the room was a white European. And as Disney increases hiring, people from diverse backgrounds, it would be cool to see them take original folklore and story from cultures that they have actual ties to and make it into a story like... I don't remember what it's called, Moana and Encanto. But instead, they're like, well, let's just try to stick with what we already have to profit off the nostalgia, but also wreck it, so therefore ruin the nostalgia, and try and make some sort of weird political point. Like, just pick other cultures' folklores and rip them off. That's how Disney made their money. They should stick to it.
You're good at that. Keep up with it.
I understand.
You're good at ripping off. You're not good at remaking. Go back to ripping off, less remaking.
110%.
Cultural appropriation.
I stand by everything I said.
Same. Cultural appropriation is one of the stupidest terms that has ever been used.
Never applies to food. They're always okay with you eating food.
Dude, no. It does apply to food. And in the mouth breathers in my life that use that term, that's what they complain about the most.
I mean, in cooking the food, right? Not necessarily in eating.
No, I mean, yeah, cooking.
Yeah, you're only allowed to eat
it.
other cultures' foods if you find like the authentic mom and pop shop. Yeah, you can't make it yourself.
Yeah, cultural appropriation.
One of my favorite takes is that a lot of people say like, oh, Chipotle is like not authentic, like Mexican.
I don't
it's
care.
It's a
Brand
burrito.
itself as
care.
Mexican food anyway.
It's a
Who
burrito.
cares?
Dude. It's like.
It's not that deep.
Like, you need like a hunchback abuelita being like, "Ay, mijo, here
Yes.
you go."
Yeah.
They need it to be more racially
it
stereotypical
helps.
for them
Nice.
to believe it.
It does help, actually.
Helps.
Well, what teenagers are they going to hire for minimum wage to work at these places if they don't have all the chain restaurants?
My key to success for a restaurant is, number one, you need to have an old lady that moves at the speed of, I don't know, something very slow. But's always calling you honey. And then there's a fat guy with a basketball jersey on top of a t-shirt and a cap on in the register, just being like, okay, $20, come on, I don't got any all day, blah, blah, blah. Like, those two, for some reason, is a divine duo of people. I don't know why.
And the cooks, like at most American restaurants, the cooks in the kitchen should be on drugs. at most places.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not sure about that
I'm
part.
kidding.
He's not kidding. He's right.
No, like your average line cook is lit. Like,
It's a coked out Mexican guy. I mean,
you
like
want-
no. Just any high school or like college age kid or somebody who didn't go to college.
I do
who's
not
working.
endorse this.
I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm
record.
telling you what it is. I'm not saying.
Brett's
that's
saying
what it
drug
should
addicts
be.
need lawful
Everyone
employment.
needs
Otherwise,
jobs.
what are they going to turn to?
Everyone
Fair.
needs jobs. That's what I'm
I
saying.
almost see like an argument for what you're saying, but I can't say I'm 100% behind it.
I'm 100% behind it.
No, it's your average line cook. Look, I've been there. So, all right, we got a couple of super chats there, Mary.
Corey Anderson said, "How many crisis parties to get a HCB and Mary Jello wrestling match? Hashtag You're My Boy Blue."
I
don't
you my
get
boy
it.
Blue.
It's from a great movie, but it's a mean thing to say. I think.
So how many? I think it would be 500 million crisis parties.
Never. I would never do that.
So that's what I'm saying.
no.
500 million is not an attainable number.
No, I wouldn't even do it if you got that.
Okay.
Klaus Schwab is about to tune in
Yes.
and
Yeah.
cause some chaos. So, Alex making beds and writing novel on the side said, "Yesterday's topic, Alex, I choose you. Alex use 5-dimensional alien speech. Oh no, Chank is pulling horses, privates, and uses it to gain confidence."
Are you guys good?
I don't know what's
Is
going
this a
on with
cry
chat
for help?
today.
I don't.
Was that person dictating a super chat
What?
and then like was listening to something weird in the background?
Yesterday's topic? What was the topic?
I'm so confused right now.
Thanks for the super chat. I'm loving
Yeah.
Thank
it.
you.
Every day after the show ends, I have no idea what we just said. No idea what we just talked about.
A lot of, dude, it's so funny. Like it's like a weird like response. Like somebody like I could get like a tweet or an Instagram message like 10 minutes later. Like, dude, I really agreed with what you said here. And like,
Yeah, like what?
What? Like
agreed with
I don't know
what?
what you're talking about. But I mean, usually if they can then like intimate to me like what I was talking about, then I'm like, oh, okay, I remember that. But it's like I need more of a clue than just like I agree with this point, because the point is so like you say so much in the course of a 2-hour span.
I think the only thing I've ever remembered discussing on the show is when Ian was describing like hitting a deer.
That was the best.
And then looking each other at the eyes and how he cries over that one song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
That was
What was
great
the
one.
name of that song again?
1,000 Years.
1,000 Years.
By Christina Perri. Classic. I just pulled over on the side of the road and just bawled my eyes out.
Have a good cry. You know?
Drew Outstanding in Field said, "With as much detail, prove to me the Fast and the Furious OG is or is not a reboot of Point Break. OG would like to have your all takes on it."
I haven't seen the original Point Break in years, but yeah, I guess there's some similarities in the fact that he's like an FBI agent who goes undercover with a band of criminals. Yeah, there's connections there. But the question is then, was Paul Walker akin to Keanu Reeves? I don't know if I would go that far. Keanu Reeves is a legend. Paul Walker's a legend in his own right. I don't know. Maybe I have to rewatch. It'd be interesting to rewatch them side by side and like on the same screen at the same time and see where they intersect and where they don't. Both fantastic movies though.
Well,
But what-
deep fake technology.
Which one are you up to?
5. I've got sort of
You're
stuck.
up to 5?
Yeah.
Wow.
I got sort of
Impressive.
stuck and I don't want to keep going, but I will eventually.
It's gonna happen. Mary, do you have a Harry Potter update? Has there been a lull?
On that.
We're just torturing
I might
these
be on
girls.
5 on that too.
Okay, you're making some progress.
Yeah, but I have less to
That was my
watch.
favorite book. 5.
Really?
5 was solid.
The book, yeah.
We got a $20 one there from Francisco Sanchez Jr.
YouTube has eyes on Timcat, but F 'em, do your thing.
I don't know what Timcast is. That sounds new to me. I don't know what
Yeah.
that is. This is Pop Culture Crisis. This isn't Timcast.
I haven't heard of that.
Such younger siblings over here.
Yes.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't even know who that is. I don't even know who that is.
Disco Jensen said, "I saw special features footage on DVD of Victoria Alonso going on about CGI over makeup and actor, and it made her seem insufferable."
Wait, no, about
All
what?
confirmed.
CGI over makeup and actor?
You know what?
Like CGI is more important?
And I don't have that article anymore. I literally just had that article the other day about how
Digital
Marvel,
cosmetics.
about digital cosmetics from Marvel and all of like they're not even it's not even just CGI anymore. They're like, are you ugly? Well, we can help. And like that's the basically
Yeah,
like they don't have
actors
to do
and
makeup.
actresses don't need to be good looking anymore.
Well, and they don't like they can go into work and they don't need to like put makeup to get rid of the bags under your eyes because they can just do it in post production now
Is it
through
easier?
AI modeling.
God,
But I
AI's
feel like that
terrifying,
must
huh?
be so upsetting when you like see yourself on screen and you look great, and then you look yourself in the mirror and you're like, why do I look so terrible? That's sort of like disconcerting way of, or like, you know, those paparazzi shots where they're like, they're just like us, and it's like actually because she looks terrible, you don't really know what she looks like. You're gonna get tons of these articles that are like, female celebrity looks awful, male celebrity seems like he's really going through it. You know, they put out these things, or like gained weight, looks tired. I don't know, whatever else. And it's like, yeah, because I never looked the way you think I looked because it was always fake.
Well, the
Yep.
big one for them was everyone accusing Nicolas Cage of having fake abs for the Ghost Rider movie, and he's like, I'm never working out for a movie again because I got into shape, and they're like, you faked it. Why would I work out again and put myself through all that if they're just going to tell me I didn't do it for real anyways?
Sometimes the face tuning on like the Kardashian selfies really just makes no sense to me because I know that they are in shape.
Yeah.
So they're using Facetune to just make themselves look not human anymore.
Well, they're kind of not human.
Like
anymore.
in paparazzi photos, they look really good. You don't need to edit your rib cage out of existence.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
it's like that's how
Where are her
wired their
organs?
brains are. Like even when they started looking like perfect, like airbrush, smooth skin, whatever else, their brains eventually are so dominated by self-doubt and like being insecure ultimately that they look at it and they say like, oh, actually I'm finding fault. Actually, that's not enough. Like the culture of like, I need to look better. I need to look better. I need to look even better. Like I'm starting to see faults with myself, especially when you're looking in the mirror and you don't look that way. Like there's no way not to breed just an insane sense of body dysmorphia.
Why is it
really.
either that or I look perfect no matter what, you bigot? Like, why is it either an excessive self-hatred or accept how I look no matter how I look?
Amelia Clark is the answer. She's the only one who seems to be giving a normal response to this stuff.
Francisco Sanchez Jr. said, hey, Mary, when you said cast in my previous super chat, the sound cut off.
Check your sound.
I definitely said it, but I hope our sound is okay.
Okay.
But Timcast.
Timcast.
There.
Okay.
Damn, they're getting a lot of promo today.
Yeah. Hate it when that happens. I hate giving
No
away
free
from
clout.
you. No free clout from us,
No
guys.
free shout outs.
All right, guys, we're going to hold off on the rest. We will come back. Mary, why don't you tell us about the ski caper of the
Yeah.
century?
The what?
The Gwyneth Paltrow ski accident trial, I think, is so much better than the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial because the stakes are lower and we're all just free to breathe and just relax and find this funny without any strings attached.
I don't know if it was Andrea on Twitter the other day or Jamie, but one of them said, like, I love how she's not even trying to look like she understands what a normal person's life is like. She's an elitist and she knows it. Like she's just in court looking just completely inaccessible to the average person.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people have always liked about Gwyneth Paltrow is that she like makes no overtures toward being like relatable. Like she knows that she's elegant and like elevated beyond the rest of us.
And it's part of what she's selling, right?
Yeah,
I mean, all of
a lifestyle
Goop and whatever
brand.
else.
I just
it's the
read,
lifestyle of like an elite, semi-crunchy, super wealthy.
Yeah.
Okay. I need you guys to explain me crunchy. Can somebody explain to me crunchy?
I have a different definition from you guys, I think.
Okay.
Well, I just heard the term in 21 Jump Street the other day. It's not that new of a term. It's just, you know, someone who's kind of
Granola.
hippie, but they're
They
not
like all natural things.
Okay.
They are
Yeah.
in touch with sort of, you know, more holistic efforts to heal, stuff like that. But in this case, Gwyneth Paltrow will tell you should push a jade egg somewhere because it has healing properties and probably also still gets Botox.
I like that we called her
Yikes.
classy and she has like a vagina candle.
her net worth is now greater than that of Robert Downey Jr. almost exclusively because of Goop.
Yeah.
Took me a minute to put this together, but it's called Goop because that's her her initials with an extra O in the middle.
Oh, well.
I don't know what
the
her
hell
middle
does
name
the
is, but
second
that's
O
They
stand
should have
for?
called it GOP.
yeah. Is it just gonna be the GOP, the Grand Old Party? Like
That's what she wanted.
I don't
and then
know.
She like sued the GOP. She's like, you give me those letters.
But
There
anyway,
was actually a term called long-op high def, which was a type of high definition they used to use on tape cameras back in the day, where every other frame is high def. and
Okay,
the
film
frames
school
in
guy.
between were not.
So here's the gist of it. This happened 7 years ago, and this has been a brutal legal battle ever since, I suppose. This guy, Terry Sanderson, allegedly crashed into Gwyneth Paltrow on a ski slope in Utah 7 years ago. And initially, he wanted to sue her for $3.1 million in damages. And now, over time, it's been whittled down to only $300,000 in damages.
Ruthless.
She is countersuing for $1, just $1, plus all of her legal fees. So it's going to end up in the six figures anyway. It's a high stakes lawsuit for that reason, but it does give her the appearance of taking the high road.
Yeah.
So here was her testimony the other day. She said, I was skiing and two skis came between my skis, forcing my legs apart. Here's where it gets a little bit spicy, guys. This is like ski trial gone sexual. And then there was a body pressing against me.
There's a $20 super chat. Read that first so we can come back
Okay.
to this.
Old Warrior 34 said her reasoning for the extra letters is that successful internet companies have two O's in them like Google or Yahoo. I wish I was kidding.
Oh my goodness.
Thank
That's
you for
amazing.
sharing.
Thank
Noticing
you.
I was
patterns. I'm
just-
telling you.
That's funny because I was just listening to this in-depth multi-part review of her Goop docu-series that came out like a few years ago about her company and her company culture, and like her and her employees going on this like self-discovery journey, doing like ice baths and fasting and all of these like naturopath. They like took literally a workshop course on masturbation. It
What?
was a lot. Yeah.
Poop culture crisis.
Where do you sign up for that?
Goop
I'm just
culture.
curious.
Do you need a lesson?
I'm pretty sure it was females only.
No! I mean,
Anyway.
even better. Can you tell me where to sign up for that?
She
Yeah.
said, then
Okay,
there was a
creep.
body pressing against me, and that Terry Sanderson was making a strange grunting noise, and she initially
God.
thought that it might be a sexual assault. She said he was making some strange noises that sounded male.
She's had 7 years, and this is the story she comes up with.
Based.
Nice.
Somebody
Good
also
job.
pointed out in the chat 2 O's, Tim Pool. 2 O's in Pool. So,
Wow.
you know,
Oh, okay.
it keeps going.
She said, my brain was trying to make sense of what was happening. I thought, is this a practical joke? Is someone doing something perverted? I mean, just the fact that she would even go there in her mind is so funny to me. Like, he wouldn't have even known whether you were a woman or a man if you're on the
Depends on what
ski
she's
slope
wearing.
many
Like
miles
said.
away in a snowsuit.
Ski too.
It's literally hashtag ski too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what kind of snowsuit were you wearing?
Yeah, well, she shouldn't have been dressed like that.
Yeah,
That's the
how
problem.
were you dressed? Was it a form-fitting?
It's a
ski
joke.
suit?
She's gonna tell her lawyers, I can't be alone in a room with this guy. Anything could happen.
So this was a
He sounded
70-year-old.
male.
Yeah, and this was a 70-year-old retired optometrist. And I'm just picturing him just flying through the icy air, breathing heavily, and just ready to assault the next
In
person
his brand new,
path.
I'm picturing brand new skis, brand new jacket. He goes once every couple of years with all brand new gear, like just a total poser. I love it.
Yeah, neither of the people in this situation are exactly relatable to the average person. She said she was very upset and yelled at him, "You skied directly into my effing back." And then
She really shouldn't have been stopped on a mountain. Like she shouldn't have.
Well, we don't know if she was stopped because that's the point of contention. He's saying he had the right of way. She's saying she had the right of way. He claims she was paying attention to one of her kids who was further down and that she shouldn't have been in the way. But then if this was a situation where they were in cars, he would still be considered at fault because if you're following behind someone and you
Yeah.
rear end them,
This is my
it's
favorite
on
case.
you.
This is so much better than Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Not really.
There's so little for me to actually latch onto here. I actually like it more that I don't relate with either of these people. Like I wasn't even like growing up in Minnesota. My brother skied, but like I played hockey, so we couldn't afford to do two hobbies that cost money. Like I couldn't do both. So like I played hockey, my brother skied, so I don't relate to that. There's also that meme. It says like you're rich. A rich person will just look you in the eye and ask something crazy like, "Do you want to go skiing this weekend?" Like
It's not even that I think skiing is something you have to be rich to do. It's the fact that they were at this very high end ski resort.
Yeah. That probably had a chalet.
But what was based about the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial?
I have no idea.
Was that
No clue. One's French, one's Swiss.
You would get these like voice messages with Amber Heard being absolutely cartoonish, being like, "And then I'm gonna do this, and no one will believe you." Ha ha ha! Like,
what if something comes out with him being like, "And my dog stepped on a bee"?
I don't understand why this is.
Mary.
Why they both have.
You got a $20 one. Hold on.
Alex Frefrickson said, "Y'all need to check out JonTron's video on Goop Comedic Gold. Keep trucking, guys. Appreciate the content."
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Like Goop, like just that name alone. It's like Gak. Do you remember Gak?
I
the
think so.
The substance.
I remember Phloem better than I remember
there was a time
Gak.
they were definitely trying to poison every kid on the planet with some type of substance that they were hoping they would
Well,
eat.
they still are.
That was definitely like a
We
ploy.
have videos from court, by the way, to react to. I just want to give you guys a sense for how Gwyneth Paltrow comes off on the stand.
Okay, so here's the "you skied into my effing back" video.
Furious and said, "You skied directly to my effing back at the top of your lungs." Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
And, well, in fact, you were screaming that so hard, you were worried that Moses was hearing you. Okay.
Dude, what?
I'm
She's
sorry.
worried her kid was hearing her.
I'm sorry.
I love that she was like, "Sorry for the bad language."
She,
I love that.
Like that's like
I just love this affect.
I don't
she's
know
putting
how
on.
if crunchy means that she's crunching up her Xanax, but her eyes are low.
She's crunchy and a naturopath.
Like-
She was on CBD gummies.
Come on, Brett.
And you
get
know
it
that.
together.
What
And then
do I know?
we have another clip that
Is it from the same?
it wasn't from the same thread.
But it was it was the one that says,
Yeah.
"Frankly, I don't want this trial to ever end." Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
I saw one of this girl, the prosecutor in the powder blue suit, who looks like she's straight from the 80s.
Well, she looks
Being like, "So would you say you're good friends with Taylor Swift?" And like,
Yes.
this was like a 5-minute
That's a
line of
whole other
questioning.
thing,
And
like-
everyone was like, "What is the relevancy of this?" She's
Because
I
of the
think
$1.
I need to know. She
This
said
this prosecutor is definitely getting a hoot and a holler out of just being in a celebrity trial of any kind and talking to Gwyneth Paltrow.
She's got pictures
She's
of Camille
starstruck.
Vasquez like up on her wall. She's like, "I'm gonna
She
be the next
literally
Camille Vasquez."
wants to be the next Camille Vasquez.
There's a $20 one right there.
Philip Reed said, "Everyone rate this pickup line. Damn, you look like the reason behind my next visit to the psych ward. What's your name?"
Nice.
This is 6, I think.
I don't know who
The thing is, you come off as a red flag.
Yeah,
So it depends on what energy you're trying to give off here.
I can't
If you
give
want
advice.
Wait, what?
I can't give advice, but there's this amazing YouTube channel of this guy who does courteous pickup. He shouts courteous pickup lines with a megaphone.
This is discourteous.
Yeah, but I'm saying
right?
but maybe that's what you need
It's like
to go for.
you look like you like crazy toxic people.
This is
Yeah.
either discourteous or incredibly self-aware.
Yeah. I'm unstable. I want to be upfront about it. I also want to hit on you.
It's like a guy.
That would be better than this line.
The guy's like, "Damn girl, it looks like you know your Wi-Fi password by heart," and like he just says like really polite things.
Brett,
to
when are
people.
you going to use these pickup lines on women in the wild?
I will have to work on that. someday.
When?
I can't give a number. I can't.
Tonight.
Back to
I don't need a number. I need a
Camille
date. I need to
Vasquez.
know the day that you are breaking
I'm
out these
still
pickup
waiting for the
lines.
movie theater pickup line.
I know. We've got a bunch, and you're just not following through.
I know.
What's the movie or theater pickup line?
What was that one again?
Hey, I thought snacks weren't allowed in the theater.
Oh,
That's when you ask her to see Oppenheimer with you.
Dude,
Boom.
I am smitten by that one.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was like, Brett, like, when are we doing this? And he was like, I'll do it. And I was like, okay, when? He's like, oh, don't question me.
Thank you guys.
roadkill. Ha ha ha.
Then he had like a ton of excuses, like, well, Well, if you come with me to the theater,
I did
it'll
not say
seem
that.
weird. I'll seem creepy. If I go by myself, I'll seem weird. I can't go to the theater. I've got to skate. I'm very, very busy. Busy. Can't do it by.
I feel very judged right now.
I know. I am judging you openly. This is 100% what's happening.
Doesn't seem healthy.
I'm feeling very judged, and frankly, I don't think that's very fair.
I can't remember the comedian's name, but he had this thing where he was like, you don't want your kids to be bullied in school, but you don't want them to be not bullied
Seriously.
at all. You
Yes.
want them to be bullied just the right amount. And that's what we're trying to hit here. I want you to feel some pressure to go out into the world and meet a nice lady and
Why?
become the ultimate hockey dad that you are born to be.
Hockey. Oh.
See? It's sweet, right? I want
Mary,
them to have a family.
let us continue with fake Camille Vasquez.
Oh.
Yes, play the clip.
All right, here we go, guys.
See that diversion? I just want everyone to notice this.
It's fantastic, wasn't it?
We're wearing goggles and helmet,
Yes,
like everybody else on the slope.
that's always my.
She's so starstruck. Look at her face.
She is right out. No, she looks like
She's-
Does anybody here remember the movie 10 Things I Hate About You? It looks like the counselor that they keep sending Kat to go see, the one who's writing the erotic novel in her office. She looks like her.
We had a better ski outfit though. I bet.
Oh my God.
I mean, she's trying to make it seem like
you are.
I'm just under 5. I think I'm shrinking.
I'm so jealous.
I have to
I wanna
wear
hear this.
4-inch heels just to make it to 5.
So cool.
no. I think she's trying to like present her being as
You're
like
not
being
trained in accident
unrelatable,
I
right?
literally can't hear it.
Yeah. Neither am I.
I was yelling at him.
Pretty loud. Pretty forceful.
I was pretty upset.
right? You're
Yeah.
small but mighty.
She's so cute. I'm sorry. Like,
Actually, you're not that small. And I'm
She's 5'10". She's not that small.
assuming, you're both here, that you're a good tipper. Okay, fantastic. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Well, see, now she just lost the foreign audience. They hate tipping. So, yeah.
love
No, I
this.
mean, I think she's being weird, but also, what are the odds that she's got this defense where she's like, you're like, how tall? 5'10"? Wow, like, you're so special. You're tall. I don't even get to be that tall. Oh, and you have a better ski outfit than everyone on. Like, you're pretty special. And at one point, Gwyneth Paltrow can be like, I mean, I am pretty special. You're right. I am special, and therefore I deserve special treatment. And then this girl's gonna be like, so you did hit him, and you thought you could get
is
away
it
with
that, or does she just want to
whatever it
get
is.
lunch with Gwyneth Paltrow?
She so
and this
wants
is
to-
her
I
version
can't
of
tell,
it.
and that's why I wonder if she's trying to lull Gwyneth Paltrow into like this sense of security, so that she can be like, you know, like Gwyneth Paltrow won't
An ambush.
try exactly. Like maybe this '80s lawyer is really good.
Some guy's paying her to flirt with Gwyneth Paltrow, basically.
But
Yeah,
that's
this guy is watching his defense and he's like, what the
It's that meme where it's like, if your lawyer's just like this, you're going to jail. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
But it makes me wonder, like maybe she's trying to get Gwyneth Paltrow to just be like, oh, well, I really think he should have, you know, been more careful, and I didn't really need to pay attention and like slip up. You know what I mean? Instead of being like, just like, oh, I'm just like a nice, calm blonde
You're
housewife.
coming at this from the 4D chess perspective,
Yeah.
and I'm coming at this from the smooth brain perspective.
Maybe it's just her outfit. Like she's throwing me off so much by like having this powder blue jacket on, like kind of an 80s aesthetic. But then it does make Gwyneth Paltrow seem sort of even more elite and unrelatable in the room, right? Like if you have to compare
Sure.
these two women, I don't know. Maybe
That's
this is
the
a great
question
lawyer.
about Taylor Swift. She said, are you good friends with Taylor Swift?
Oh my
And
God.
Paltrow said, I wouldn't say we're good friends. We're friendly. I've taken my kids to one of her concerts before, but we don't talk very often.
how
then
far apart in age are they? They got to be at least 15 years apart. In age.
Then she said, she asked if Gwyneth Paltrow had given Taylor Swift, quote, intimate gifts for Christmas.
What are we doing?
And this is a reference to an ad for Goop in which Gwyneth Paltrow sent a vibrator to Taylor Swift as a Christmas gift. But this line of questioning was promptly halted by the judge.
We have
so we didn't ever find out.
I don't know if that's what this
why that
picture was
happened.
from, but somebody had this picture in the chat where it says the plaintiff's lawyer on Instagram 1 week after the case adjourns, and they just show like a package, looks like a care package from Goop, featuring like it says, "This smells like Kim's orgasm."
Oh no, no.
It says, okay, yeah, you can read it. Very polite.
It's just, this whole thing doesn't make sense to me because I feel like a retired optometrist going to a luxury ski resort can pay his medical bills just fine and it's not worth the trouble.
I know, right?
It's been 7 years,
That's
bro.
my thing. Like, either one of them could have settled out of court by now.
Yeah.
Like, why are we going to trial over this?
It's the
been a long
principle.
time.
It's the principle.
That's what it
of the
has to
thing.
be. And in some ways, I want to hear this optometrist just like be like,
My
look,
favorite part
she
is,
was
like,
terrible.
the-
She was rude. She hurt me, and I don't think we should let celebrities get away with this. And then Middle America is suddenly like, what? I identify with this rich optometrist.
He needs to hire you, apparently.
There was like they said that he sent an email to his daughter that says, "Look, I'm famous." After this happened, and they're like, "Why would you send an email with that headline?"
But he
in it?
would have had no idea that it was Gwyneth Paltrow
Yeah.
while he was on the slopes. you
No,
know?
but he sent the email afterwards. Now I
Yes.
can't find
But
it.
he was
Yeah.
mad regardless of who it was. He was
Yes.
going to sue no matter what. It just turned out it was Gwyneth Paltrow.
I also love that, like, there's articles that are like, "Look what Gwyneth Paltrow's worn during court." It just proves that nobody,
Yes,
like,
I wanted to do an outfit review because her outfits have been great, and I know we psychoanalyzed Amber Heard's outfits as well, and the way she did her hair and her makeup.
I do
during
love the
trial.
Dahmer glasses.
She's looking glamorous.
That's the picture I was talking about, where it looks like that's her saying, like, "You just mixed up Chateau and Chalet." Like, she's like,
Yeah.
"How dare, how dare you?"
I'm telling you, this 80s lady lawyer is dressing this way on purpose to contrast.
Look at those
Gwyneth
boots.
Paltrow. So
that looks sick.
So she looks less relatable.
I love.
She looks too fashionable to be relatable.
Yep. Well, I
Yeah,
don't
that's
think-
what Amber Heard was going for, kind of a
Frumpy.
flustered, frumpy look.
Well, you're
She's
supposed to
very
always
stressed.
wear blue. You're supposed to always wear blue because blue is relatable.
Her makeup looks bad because she's been crying the night before, and
But,
her hair is all a mess.
It didn't work. She was trying to be too much of a librarian. Whereas, like, I
Yeah.
commend Gwyneth Paltrow for being like, look, this is just the way I am, and I'm going to try and, like, because if she suddenly came in looking really dowdy, everyone would be like, don't think that's who you are.
It's sort of like how when Lana Del Rey got accused of glamorizing abuse in her songs, she said, "I'm not glamorizing abuse. I'm just a glamorous person singing about my experiences."
I don't think that's a terrible take.
It's really not. Yeah.
I mean, we mentioned the Kibbe body types the other day, and like one of the things that this comes up is like different silhouettes and different fabrics and different things look different on different body types. So like you could have two people wearing a leather jacket and one person looks just very chic and stylish and one person looks really edgy. And I think it's similar with Gwyneth Paltrow. Like she just naturally has sort of an elegant bone structure. So she looks glamorous even when she's selling stupid candles. That's just the way she carries herself. And so I think Amber Heard similarly has a very like alluring look, and so when she tried to dress like a school marmy teacher, it just didn't come off. She came across as like looking uncomfortable and out of place.
My guess is that anytime you buy that turtleneck right there, it comes with a Live, Laugh, Love plaque.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
I think that's
I don't-
that's way too expensive for your Home Goods Live, Laugh, Love plaque.
Then a very expensive Live, Laugh, Love plaque.
It probably comes with,
Live,
like-
Laugh, Love, Prosper. I
Live,
don't
laugh,
know.
love is a state of mind.
Yes.
It's not,
Live, Laugh, Love, Profit. That's what it is.
I think that Gwyneth Paltrow is just receiving a lot of undeserved backlash right now.
Where is
just
that
because
from,
she
by the
said
way?
that we should drink coffee and bone broth for breakfast doesn't mean she has an eating disorder. And she obviously was attacked maliciously on the ski slopes 7 years ago
by a very vindictive
Yes.
retired optometrist.
Yes.
I want to know what she was saying 7 years ago, because like when did the sexual I thought it was a sexual assault story come from? Like,
Well, she's just saying like, oh, like at first I was worried that he was.
but what did she say? Like, because
If he was just going to attack her right there
this
on the
has been
slopes,
7
men have been emboldened these days.
this has been 7 years in the making. Obviously, at some point, I assume her story has changed to come up with this. I
they're
wanna know when it
probably
should've been.
dating. This is how they
Behind
get
the
made.
scenes.
Even
It's just like
better.
how everyone thought that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard were getting back together during the trial, but had to keep it a secret, and then they would just share the damages afterwards. I mean, they still could.
The
It's not out of the question.
I'm checking.
It's
I
not.
was checking the Pop Culture Crisis Discord, and he said that the super chat was a play-by-play for Celebrity Fight. I'm keeping track of them. They're having their own discussion in the.
They're like, "Get out
the
of
Discord.
here."
Leave us alone. They just want to be left alone. Look, and that's what Gwyneth Paltrow wants. She just
peer
wants to be
into
left
their
alone with her
private
millions of
conversations.
dollars.
And then also her children, Apple and Moses, and her
course.
husband are also expected to testify soon. So this is
She's gonna
just going to
put her,
be
She
like,
had
little
nightmares
kid
for
out,
weeks
man.
after that man tried to assault her on the slopes. Well, it was like I wonder what like rating it was. It was definitely not a black diamond. I know that. Had to have been a bunny hill. Had to have been a bunny hill.
I mean, yeah, he's pretty old.
He's
I don't know
old.
if he can handle the the more challenging slopes.
All right. Now that we've discussed that thoroughly important topic, Mary, we've got some super chats.
Jacob Edler said, I took a 10% pay cut to get a new job where I actually did things. I couldn't live with myself just leeching off a company and learning no transferable skills for my career. Where has ambition gone?
I actually kind of identify with that. Like when I started here, I was originally doing stuff for the vlog and doing secondary camera work and stuff on the weekends, and I jumped at the opportunity. Well, actually, no, I didn't want to be on.
So say Brett
I
did
was
not
the
jump.
opposite.
Whoa!
I wanted to be doing more. I just didn't want to be doing more on camera. I didn't like the idea of being in front of the camera. I still don't, to be completely honest. I'm not a huge fan of it. But like I wanted to be doing more than what I was doing at the time, so I understand that sentiment entirely. No, yeah, you're right. I did not exactly jump. It was the opposite of jump. I actually dug my heels in.
Brett wanted to continue working hard,
Just
but
not in front of the camera.
did not like the proposed suggestion. And anyways, here we are on Pop Culture
Exactly.
Crisis.
Yeah.
Fast forward.
They're like they're like yeah I hear you, but go do it.
At one point, I think
Yeah.
Brett suggested that he like talk but not be on camera.
I just didn't want to be on camera.
He, like, fought it tooth
No.
and nail.
Originally, I suggested it as an audio podcast only because audio, like that was when learning more about the business, found out that audio podcasts have the highest rate of return on ads and stuff like that. And there wasn't anything in this sphere that was ads only, and we weren't live at the time, so there wasn't other ways to monetize or make revenue.
Brett just wanted to keep all his beauty to himself.
Yeah, that's
He won't hit on girls at movie theaters. He won't use these pickup lines he's clearly studying.
Come on.
He won't
You
go
You
on
can't,
camera.
you can't even use that as they go into the theater. You have to use it right as they walk in the building because you're like, no snacks coming in. From
That's when you
outside.
hold the door open
Yeah,
for
it's
her
like,
as
damn,
she's coming
So
toward
not
the door.
only are you a gentleman, you have a great line.
Yes.
I don't understand what's happening, Brett. Why
Ladies,
is-
let's not roast my boy online. That's my
Okay,
job.
but
okay?
you're engaged, Dane, and you didn't get engaged by not doing anything, right? I feel like I'm your mom and you're home for the holidays. I'm like, when are you
When are
getting
you gonna
married?
get on the? When are you gonna do this? Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I feel like someone should do it.
Yeah.
If I
Wayward
didn't
soul.
think you had a chance, I wouldn't do it. And I think that would be worse. You'd be more insulted.
Okay, thank you.
Wayward Soul said, watched Evil on Paramount Plus. Bad guy in episode 2 is R-ism? SMDH.
I'm scrolling up to
Rhythm?
to find this
Rhythm.
I hate
It's like
that.
when you have too much
Racism?
charisma.
The rhythms drive me nuts.
one.
Corey Anderson said, sorry, HCB and Mary, I was just joking. Who has a hairier chest, Brett or Dane?
I'm not offended. Don't worry about it.
We are not going to
Can I see your
opine
chest,
on
Brett?
that.
No.
Francisco
Okay, well,
Sanchez Jr.
Guess we'll never know.
Or sorry, X said, Crunchy is between hipster and hippie.
All right.
That
well,
seems right.
that seems about right.
In Colorado,
Well-
it's like a hippie that's like not the smoke weed hippie, but they like to
Yeah.
camp
Your
outside
placenta
hippie.
in
I'm lying.
capsules.
It's into
hippie.
natural, like they wear clean
What if
makeup
that's a
brands,
thing?
but they
Yeah.
also will splurge on the organic sweater. Like Crunchy
They'll
has a little.
splurge on the organics.
Right, they'll pay $600.
That was recommended in
that
the
they are
Goop
natural.
emailed newsletter.
And like some parts, I watched this fantastic video about this woman being like, I was a crunchy mom, meaning like she didn't vaccinate her kids and she avoided.
Oh, like
whatever.
do you think those people think of themselves as like OG anti-vaxxers and everybody else now is a
Well,
poser?
then she was like, and then I found out that all my crunchy mom friends were all the isms and phobias, so I had to leave it behind, and now all my kids are vaccinated.
Lots
Like,
of Pinterest.
Girl, you
What
seem to
is
be
the
going
correlation?
through an identity crisis.
Lots
She
of
said that it's
Pinterest
part of
pages.
the wellness to white supremacy pipeline. I can never get over this person.
Well, say that
Wellness
again?
to white
She
supremacy.
said that being on Crunchy is on the wellness to white supremacy pipeline, and Gwyneth Paltrow has
Whoa.
not weighed in on this. So
She's
It's
like,
sort of like when they say that lifting weights and reading books is actually right-wing conspiracy.
and being aware of time management is also racism.
Yeah, they want you to be a dork so hard.
she was saying like they don't trust the government, and that's crazy. They don't believe in science, and it's like I don't know. Wellness to white supremacy pipeline. I'll never get over that phrase.
It's pretty solid. I love it.
Potatoes for Seamus said, hi, Mr. Font, HCB and Mary. Hey, Brett. Happy Tuesday.
He didn't even
in fact
gaslight
Tuesday.
us on the day of the week there.
But maybe because I was here yesterday, they're hoping it'll trip you.
Yeah.
up.
I met him on the Discord this Friday. Nice guy.
Yes, in the chat. If you're in the chat, there is a Pop Culture Crisis Discord in the Timcast members Discord.
Well, to be more precise about the terminology, there's a PCC thread within the Timcast Discord.
Yes, correct.
We don't have a separate Pop Culture Crisis Discord.
Someday, maybe.
Maybe.
Someday. All right, let's hold off on the rest and we will come back. All right, guys. So we are moving on. Mary, tell us about this absolutely ridiculous story.
This story infuriated Brett and myself.
Well, there's language in here that infuriated me right off the bat, yeah.
Yeah, this is an actress named Victoria Pedretti. She's in You. And she decided that, she was having a normal one, and she posted a nude selfie to her Instagram.
As people are wont to do.
Yes, as attention-seeking actresses are wont to do.
Yes.
And here is her Instagram caption. WTF is partial nudity. Happy birthday to me, middle finger emoji. On my birthday last year, a, quote, well-known actor walked up to me at a party and said, I've jacked off to you so many times. I was shocked by the audacity. This is after he expressed how much he respected me as an actor.
Well,
LOL.
he prefaced it, so it's fine.
Sometimes, she said, sometimes I enjoy modesty, sometimes I don't. It's a joke to think that my own modesty will protect me from any disrespect I may experience as a femme body. Also, shout out to my body. I love you. You're mine. Heart emoji.
Why do they fetishize the word body? Like black and brown bodies, femme body. Like,
femme as in FEMME.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like folks with an X at the end. It's just, you have to adopt the lingo.
I'm going to put the picture on screen if people want to look at it just temporarily. Very quickly. That's the picture that she posted, ladies and gentlemen. It is blurred out.
Technically Instagram safe, but they took it down. And then she posted on her Instagram story about a couple hours ago, which we're going to show.
I have to actually give me a second. Tell me.
I sent you her Instagram story. She posted this explanation of it after it was taken down by Instagram. I guess that's because Instagram is upholding the patriarchy. But I find it interesting, refuses to name the actor.
I'm going to refresh this. I'm going to refresh this and then we'll watch it. Here we go.
Okay.
No, it might not let me.
You just need to click view story.
Yeah.
This person, if I ever. I can handle it. I don't need his career ruined. He said something really funny.
But she's putting him on notice.
Then thinking, well, wild that was.
It is pretty wild to go up to a chick and say that.
And then I was, especially when it's, no matter what you do, people are gonna say terrible things. And they're gonna
Dude, let your hair down.
Weird about the way they talk about women.
Oh my god, the male nipple I posted got taken down.
After a year.
Instagram is out of control.
Yeah, so she did post a male nipple and it did get taken down.
I hate these people. Look, what the guy said was stupid.
Can we take her nude off the screen?
Yes.
Off the screen.
No, leave it there.
It's not a nude. It's blurred out.
It's a nude. But yeah.
It's blurred out. No?
What?
It looked blurred out to me.
It is blurred out, but it's a nude.
Okay.
So
It's a
let's not put
nude.
it on YouTube.
Look, this is did you see how excited she was to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, this is what I said before we started the show to you, Brett, but I'll repeat it. She easily could have replied to this guy. He said, I've jacked off to you so many times.
Oh my god, what?
She could have replied to this guy, I've jacked off to the thought of you jacking off to me so many times, because she obviously, in this video, her grin says it all.
Yeah.
She is palpably excited and aroused at the fact that this guy objectified her, which is why she is repeating it by objectifying herself on her own platform.
Yeah.
And you can say, oh, well, it's different because in that way she has control of her sexual, like her sexual appeal and her body. And
Not really, though.
It's more of like an act of autonomy and empowerment because she posted it herself and it wasn't against her will. But it's just funny because in that same Instagram story, she said, it started with me wanting to, she deleted this part, by the way, in the last hour, but I remember she posted this. She said, it started with me wanting to post a nude, and then I thought about what I wanted to make the caption. And then I remembered my birthday, and I remembered what this guy said, and I just wanted to make this point, but mostly it was about wanting to post my own nudes. So you're literally the horny man inside your own brain, objectifying yourself.
Yeah.
It's just like Nina said on Friday. Men look at women and women look at themselves being looked at.
Yeah.
That's a profound quote.
It's true.
Like, I just don't understand the point of posting I mean, I understand it. I understand why she did it, because she doesn't I don't think that she gets that what she's doing is hypocritical and weird, but it is what it is. Like, these are the type of people that you have to understand that celebrities are going to be this way.
I just want to know who you guys think is the unnamed well-known actor.
I'm telling you, it's Penn Badgley. That's why his wife is telling him no more sex scenes.
But she's saying they like met at
Oh, the guy from
birthday?
You?
And would that
Yeah,
not be the case
they're
because they were
both in
already
You.
in the show?
Yeah.
I think this girl is trying to be a feminist while also trying to be a sex object, and that's pretty common. This is not like a nuanced like I'm posting my body so I'm empowered and you guys are crazy that men are having a reaction to it.
How dare you be attracted to me and
No,
say so?
I mean, it's pretty bold for a dude to be like,
But
hey.
no one's saying it's normal, but
it's
it's
a
just like,
super weird
you're not
quote.
normal either if you're posting this nude and
Yeah.
complaining about being objectified.
I
Fair.
feel like it is a weird story, and that's fine. If she had told this story in a different context, I'd be like, dude, crazy. Like, men need to check
Hollywood
it.
men, right?
Even if he thinks he's being funny. Because I could see, like, some raunchy comedian saying something like this and being like...
Especially Louis C.K.
Right, being like, not really a great joke, but, like, I get that you were trying something. Not great. It's just the fact that she's, like, making it about like I love my body and you're mine and this, that, and the other, that starts to sort of lose the integrity.
Self-worship as a substitute for self-respect is like really
that's where society's
getting
going right
old.
now.
Also, like
now those are actually interchangeable terms now, I think, to a lot of people. They don't understand that worshiping yourself and vanity are not the same thing as respecting yourself.
Yeah.
I think if she wanted to post a nude picture of herself and she was really like, yeah, I like my body and I like being able to post whatever, like we didn't need this story to justify it, right? She could just do it. That's not that I would approve of it, but she doesn't need my approval to live her life. She tacks on this story to sort of be like, I have been through it with men, and like you should look at this as like a pro-feminist thing. She doesn't want anyone to say like you're not being an empowered lady because you're just trying to get attention because you're naked, because that was actually what she was doing. She wanted a positive reaction to a photo that she felt was flattering to her and would get her a lot of attention.
The other part that's annoying is they say she also wished herself a happy birthday, adding a middle finger emoji to drive home the FU tone of her post. It's just so Western snark and feminism and just American culture to like, it just comes off as unbelievably stupid to me.
But I think we still reward these kinds of posts, right? Like she's getting a write-up in Page 6. She's getting all kinds of attention for it. So her ultimate objective to get attention worked.
Yep. So yeah. Well, this next generation is absolutely genius at being able to find ways to both objectify themselves and get attention, both positive and negative, which they can turn to benefit themselves through publicity.
The thing is, since like 10% of the economy is people earning 40 grand writing about nonsense, you can say pretty much anything to the ether and there'll be some mouth breather that's going to be like, oh, could you believe what this person said? Here's my op-ed.
I am that person, except for it's not an op-ed. It's I am the mouth breather. We are the mouth breathers here, talking about it here. In a way, we're part of the problem.
We're supposed to have opinions, not just aggregate. This person said
that. Nor are we supposed to be like,
said this.
The worst part is that the media now simps for these people super hard. Like, oh my gosh, you go, queen.
Now all the headlines are going to be Victoria Pedretti stands up to the haters.
Up to the patriarchy.
I feel like it's the same thing as those
misogynists.
headlines that are like, Kendall Jenner is, is on the beach in a spicy new bikini or like whatever. Like women,
Daily Mail is like
especially of
Daily Mail is like half those topics.
Yeah, I mean, all of celebrity culture knows that if you appear somewhat naked, you're going to get attention, even though we're overexposed in that content anyways. So I guess in some ways she's putting herself head and shoulders above the other many semi-nude or mostly nude celebrity pictures that went up on Instagram today, because she's making it about empowerment and somewhat attacking men for it. And that's how she stood out.
So
Like,
it's
not that interesting. I think Hollywood girls would benefit from going back to a more modest culture, because then it sort of resets the clock. Like, it's not just like a racy photo in a low-cut dress anymore. It's not just a bikini photo. It's not a lingerie photo. It's that they have to be completely nude to get this kind of reaction. And then they have to add in the political subtext to stand out from everyone else who's doing that. Like, that's pathetic. Come on, team.
Let me ask you a question then. So she says that his comments to her were audacious, basically, right? Like, how dare he have the audacity to say something like that?
Okay.
In this context, then, would her posting this picture not have also been something full of audacity if he had not said that first? If it was just unprovoked and she posted the picture, isn't that also the same
That's
thing?
what I was saying too.
Yeah.
Like, I was saying, posting a picture like this, by the way, to a platform which is supposed to be 13 plus, not 18 plus, is kind of imposing yourself on unwitting people who don't necessarily want to see you naked. And it's the equivalent digitally of like opening your trench coat and flashing everybody and being like, look at me, and also tacking on this like deeper meaning to it.
Yeah.
That you're taking a stand or doing something stunning and brave when
it's always
you were just looking
very-
for cheap attention.
They love when stunning and brave requires about as much effort as it is to just take their clothes off and then
But
take a selfie.
I don't think it has the same impactful audacity as this story about a guy saying, like, when he meets her for the first time, oh, I've jacked off to you. Like,
Well,
that's like weird. And
how did he do it? Did he do it for her on the show, or did he do it because she was posting pictures of herself half naked on Instagram?
This is why creeps in Hollywood are creeps.
Hold on, I just want to finish my point. What I was saying is, like, this statement is crazy. Like, if a guy walked up to any girl ever and said that, you'd be like, what? It could be, if a grocery store clerk was like, this guy just said that whatever. It's not, her shock value with her like nude photo actually is not there, because we are so numb to this now.
Yeah.
So many celebrities post stuff like that it's not, it doesn't hit the same shock level. What's shocking about this post is that story, because it would be so creepy if someone said that to you. It's not the fact that she's naked, it's the fact, and she knows that. That's why she had to attach the story to make it stand out. And that is sad. It's so sad that we are so numb to women being naked that they have to attach it to this greater complaint about our culture. Like, that's weird. That's so morally corrupt. This girl should put her clothes on and have told this story.
Is it possible that the naked photo didn't get all the reactions that she wanted, so she made up someone saying that?
Oh, I don't know. I
get more traction on the pic.
It's also like,
Probably?
I love the idea that the guy thought he was being courteous by first being like, "Hey, but trust me, I respect you as an actor." Like, it's not. He's like, it's not just that I'm
trying to make an edgy joke. It's still inappropriate. He still shouldn't have done it, but like, you know, it's more of this like,
his bro told him that would be a great pickup line. And
well, this is what happens when women start acting like men. It's like you're going to be subjected to the locker room talk that men do.
But
and then
she's not acting like a man. She is trying to get attention in a super feminine way, which is by showing off her body. And men don't have the same outlet. So like, if she had said to a man, "Oh, I jacked off to you all the time," people would be like, "What? That's vulgar and gross." But that's not what she's doing. She is trying to show off what a woman she is, and also still be like, "But I'm allowed to do this because men say creepy things, and this is me reclaiming my autonomy."
They're always
It's just
reclaiming their
weird.
autonomy. Like, it must be difficult to be constantly picking up your autonomy over and over and over
Oh,
again.
it looks like I dropped my autonomy
I've
again.
once again dropped my autonomy. I now have to pick it up again.
I'm so autonomous, I'm going to pose for you
Like,
naked. And then when you don't pay enough attention to me, I'm going to freak out about it.
And young girls everywhere will see this and they will take the wrong lessons from it, and they'll say, like,
I literally saw fan accounts run by teenagers saying like, "I look up to you so much." Victoria, like
we are screwed, my friends.
you inspire me in every way.
Your naked mirror selfies inspire me to be a real woman.
And they posted that in a two picture carousel with a yearbook photo of her from when she was like 11, and I was like, that doesn't seem
The
to
hell, dude?
be like something that fits together with
That person's
her.
minutes away from joining ISIS when you do that.
Really weird. By the way, I just heard about this, but apparently, like, because of religious discrimination policies on social media, there are videos allowed on YouTube defending child marriage because of religious reasons.
That's true.
This is I cover child marriage kind of frequently right now because a lot of states, like West Virginia, has this big battle over outlawing, or they were having this big battle over outlawing child marriage, and the UK passed a bunch of legislation, and it's.
We've got one from
we got
Joshua
$20
French. Hold on.
Yep.
Every time you're talking.
Proof we are in
my
a
points.
simulation. This morning I was thinking about how Fast and Furious was Point Break, but with street racing versus extreme sports.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's that's what it is. So
We all exist in Joshua
Okay,
French's
continue.
world.
continue.
Well, when you talk about child marriage, right, there are people who feel really strongly that the marriage age should be 18, but there's an unwillingness to acknowledge what cultures promote child marriage, right? And so every once in a while you get a case where it's like some creepy old guy somehow works the legal system to marry someone who's much younger than them. But more commonly, it's certain cultures where they are first generation in this nation or they're immigrants and their parents view it as a part of honor and tradition, and they'll often take them out of the US or out of the UK to get married in their native country.
Yeah.
And it's just a different thing. And it's very difficult. People feel really uncomfortable talking about it because they don't want to seem like they're bigoted and mean to this culture. On the other hand, like what you're saying is that culture doesn't share the values of the West.
Yeah.
They have values that are different than yours.
Yeah,
But we
here in the
can't
West, we
say
value
that.
naked selfies to take back your femininity. That's
Sure.
what we value here in the West.
Love our Western
From-
values.
Or we
from
want to
rich, white
protect
Western
children
women.
unless we think that it might make us look potentially like we think your culture is doing something wrong. Because we don't want to look like we're judging another culture.
Then F them kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally, like we're like, yeah, look it up to our culture, our advanced culture, where no name actress number 5 from the television show You says, "I'm taking back my femininity by posting nudes," because a similarly degenerate male said to me, "I like to jack off to your."
They're all degenerates. That's the truth.
They're all,
and they deserve each other.
She was great on You. She killed a guy for being anti-vaxxer though.
Ah!
Oh, really?
Well, you know,
Yeah, in the show.
In the show?
in the show.
That's crazy.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You
For
heard me.
being anti-vaxxer?
Yep.
And
I
no
mean-
one talked about this?
I mean, the measles vax.
Yeah, but still,
Yeah,
at
yeah.
what year was this made?
Oh, during the pandemic.
And no one talked about this? That's crazy.
I talked about it.
Bold, at least. Hey, at least they went like I'm always talking about how I'm like, you can make analogs to these stories. You don't need to like hit the nail on the head quite so much. They made it like one step past just making it COVID vax, and like somebody's like, well, we can't do COVID vax, and somebody's like, well, I had the measles once when I
Have
was a
you
kid.
ever-
They're like, perfect, we'll use that one.
Have you ever seen the show on Netflix, The Politician?
No.
Okay. So that show is basically a spoiler of things to come. And I'll
Okay.
leave it at that.
Okay. Now that makes me want to
You
watch it.
can't say leave it at that. You have to explain your
Dane,
point.
what's your favorite streaming platform? Like, what's your preferred one?
What do you mean?
The
Do you
answer
like
is Hulu.
Netflix? Do you like Hulu? Do you like Peacock or whatever it's called?
I'm the only one
Does
who likes
Disney Plus
Peacock.
kinda
Does
guy?
YouTube count?
No,
It's interesting.
count.
'cause
no, it does
could
not count.
But they do make original content for
Netflix?
YouTube is considered social media still.
You can still rent movies
can rent
through
movies.
YouTube.
They all
They-
suck,
all
honestly.
and they're free.
Yeah.
They're free ones. Like if you know how YouTube has like a free movie section,
Peak.
they're all like super edited and bad.
Peak Netflix was the best when it had everything, but now nothing has nothing.
Hulu.
So they all suck.
Hulu is the best streaming service right now.
Why?
Why?
Best selection.
What are the parameters for best selection?
I should rephrase that. At least to me, it's the best streaming service because it
Yeah.
seems to have the most amount of complete dramas, start to finish.
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
if that's your genre, if you're genre specific and you like dramas, it does very, very well there. So I watch Hulu more than any of them, and I go to Peacock for a couple of shows.
You're acting shifty. Are they guilty pleasure shows?
No, I've been watching House on Peacock because they refuse to watch it on Amazon Prime because Amazon Prime is balls. They refuse to watch Amazon Prime on principle unless it's for like
You can't
certain.
support
Yet
Jeff
you pay
Bezos.
them.
Well, I have Amazon Prime for the Prime part, not for the movies and television part. I order enough on Amazon Prime to make that worth it.
It has to be a package deal.
Yeah. I mean, that's what makes it worth it,
Amazon
right?
Prime
like
rules.
people are stuck with. People are like, I don't even watch anything
love
on
Jeff
Amazon
Bezos.
Prime, but I get packages delivered in like 6 seconds, and therefore. Like, I had one the other day where I finally thought I got him. I'm like, something didn't arrive. I'm like, oh, I didn't get it. Nope, it was something here that got screwed up. It wasn't Amazon. Bezos don't miss.
Dude, I'm like a
apparently.
Cuban that washed up on the shores of Miami. Like, I'm always...
What a fun segue. What?
No, because you're talking about Amazon and you made the Jeff Bezos joke. Like, when I got to the U.S. and I on the first day when I was like 25, I got on an Uber and then I ordered food on like a delivery app and I was like, this is America.
This is the best country.
I swear to God.
No way.
Dude, there's like Facebook posts of me.
This is
back then
American
being like-
dream, baby.
It was literally that. I was like, guys, I just got in a car with a stranger, went to Walmart, which is huge, America.
Open 24.
I would do anything for day in the life of Dane when he first moves to America.
How to make,
That would have been the best day in the life
how to
content.
date it in
I'm
America.
poor.
Like that would have been. There was that.
No,
video.
but like
there
you
was
being excited about like delivery
Yeah.
service, like you being like, this Walmart is nuts.
Dude, it was
Like
literally,
your reactions to that would have been so fun to watch.
I was like, this Target's so fancy.
Sanity Clause in the chat says your refusal to watch on Amazon Prime has no meaning if they still get your money. I'm not protesting on means of the service. I'm just saying it's bad.
Like it's not.
I
it
just don't
lags
like.
or something?
I don't like the layout. I don't like the UI.
Yeah.
I don't like the fast forward and rewind buttons.
And you're
But-
not anti-Amazon.
No, I'm not. No,
You
I'm
just
not.
don't like
they
it.
offer a superior service to any other place delivering your packages, and I still get like a lot of stuff like from eBay. Like I still order from eBay, but then you're like 5 days. 5 days
How
to
am I
get
supposed to
here.
live
How
this
am I
way?
going to make that?
How am I supposed to live, laugh,
and then
love
I'm
under
like,
these
and then
conditions?
I'm like, you know how I love capitalism.
Dude, I've been scammed from eBay so much.
Really?
Oh my God, yeah. Because
Why?
back in the day, that's where the only website where you could buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like singles. And I have
Why were you buying single Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
because some are really rare and they're really
Oh,
good.
that makes sense. 'Cause, like the baseball cards and the Pokemon cards.
People oh my God, and like negotiating in Puerto Rico is hilarious because online you'd see like this is worth $20 and in Puerto Rico I'd be like, well, it's 30 to me. It has emotional value. I don't know. Everyone's like this snake oil salesman over there.
So funny.
Shout outs
So
to
what would
people.
happen? You would order stuff, your Yu-Gi-Oh
and
cards,
get-
and they wouldn't show up or
Yep,
something?
get my money stolen. Or this was the worst one, and this was stung so bad. They would send you a printed picture of it,
Oh my God.
Oh.
and they'd be like,
Laminated at least.
no,
No?
and they'd be like, read the fine print. I was like, you knew.
That's crazy.
I'm 14. This was like a month's
You-
allowance, you piece of.
This is an investment in my future, and you are taking that away
Seriously.
from me.
we got some super chats, Mary.
Yes. Bobcat said, honestly, I think Mary could do a better job pulling off the trench coat and boots look. The question is, how many crisis parties to prove it?
I don't know. But we don't even have a second crisis party today. Mary, how many crisis parties would it take to prove it?
I don't know, like 5?
5
It's not
crisis
that
parties
hard to put
like,
on clothes.
To put, ask the girl from you. It's not that hard to take off clothes either, especially
Would
when
rather
you're
get
trying
paid to put on
And
clothes
she did
than
it for
take
no
them
crisis
off.
parties.
She
That's
did-
crazy.
She did it for free. She did it to take back her feminine being. That's why she did
That
it.
joke gets me every time. I don't know why. I love it.
Corey Anderson said, where is Miracle? You're a little bit late to that
A little bit
one.
late. You're like a year late on that one.
Yeah. She's no longer at the company.
Yes.
Drew Outstanding in Field said, is or is not The Rock film a send-off to James Bond?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, is John Mason the he who remains of the James Bond dynasty? Very meat super
he said
chat.
meta
also,
super chat. I think he meant.
Oh,
yeah.
I was like, what does that mean? Meta super chat. Also, will you all be in Austin for the event too?
First of all, I've heard a lot of people that do in fact believe that The Rock, because it's got Sean Connery in it, is in fact an unnamed James Bond movie. There's actually some really great, like, in-depth video breakdowns explaining to you why that's true. I do recommend looking for those on the interwebs, on the not streaming service called YouTube.com.
Noted.
And as for the second part, is anybody here going to the Austin event?
No.
I am.
Not
Yeah,
me.
I'm in Nashville.
Okay, so you guys
Okay,
are
well,
both-
Or not Nashville, in Austin.
Me and Dane are gonna have a show for the bros. Here, then. The boys. There's this guy who makes these amazing videos. He goes breaking news, and then it cuts to him, and then he just says something. He goes, "Men go another month without." Or he goes, "Another year without bleeding every month. More at 10." And he goes, "Boys, boys, 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 boys." Yeah.
Didn't
so-
you guys have some like very successful all boys show a couple times?
They always kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. That's
When?
great.
Maybe not all boys, but like
No,
mostly
all
boys.
Yeah, you had like one with like Ian and Dane and you and
Yeah, but Mary wore a mustache, so she was
No,
one
I
of
think
the
it was
boys.
when you were in Ireland last year.
He thinks, yeah.
Yeah.
You had like a couple all boys shows, and I remember at least one because Dane was like,
I thought you were here for all of the all boy or all the all.
"No, Dane did
It was
one
one,
of them. I
you, me,
did a
and
couple,
Ian.
and then you got sick, and I came back in."
It was magic.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So it
It's
sounds
all-
like 14th is a boys day.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Except Ian is not going to be here.
I mean,
Yes.
there's boys. We can
Yeah,
get
we
some
got
boys.
spares.
There's got to be at least one more boy around.
Extremely male-dominated office. You can probably find one.
You know, this is out of every job I've had, the job with the most males. I'm always the only guy in a team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
What's that tell you?
I don't know.
I think this might be the most like ratio-wise male office I've been in. I did work in one.
Sounds like sexism,
I worked
ladies
in
and
one.
gentlemen.
No. I have a good service. I worked in an all-female office. It was pretty small, and we had to interview a new candidate for an opening. And I heard my boss, like someone was like, "So what about this one? Maybe we should interview this man." She's like, "We don't want a man in the office." I'm like, "Excuse
I can
me."
kind of
I
appreciate
think
the
that's
blatant.
discrimination.
I kind of appreciate the blatant, like the lack of caring that anybody heard her. She's like,
dude.
sure,
No.
yeah.
She said this boss said the craziest stuff.
Dude, I had a boss that literally told me, like, I need you to understand my objective isn't to empower women. I hope you enjoy your whatever you're getting paid in your position right now, because that's where you're staying.
Wow.
Like 100%. Like
Bosses will say the craziest
the
stuff.
wildest stuff. And like this person is like the most soulless golem piece of shit I've ever met in my life. And I remember like the other day, I got a notification that she won some award for like inclusivity.
Of course, they all
Inclusivity, but not for you.
Yeah.
No, but like being like the nicest person ever award. And I was like, what? Like
the
this is-
nicest
You're
person
like,
ever.
they obviously did not ask for my testimony.
Me and Mary are. Gonna
I
win nicest
wrote
person
to
ever
the
award this
people
year.
that
Wait,
were
what?
giving the award.
Me
I
and
was
you
like,
are gonna
she's
win
the
nicest
worst
person
person
ever award.
I've ever
Like
met.
this
Why would
still-
I win?
Me and you both. We're gonna both win that award.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
Mary's like, I'm not sure about that.
No.
Is there any more? I think that's all of them. All right, guys, thank you so much. Before we go, ladies and gentlemen, could you hit the like button on this video? Could you subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already? And could you turn the notification bell on? And that way you get notified every time a live stream goes live or one of our new videos goes live. It helps us in the algorithm. Leave a comment on it. And Hannah Claire, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been fun.
How's it feel over in that seat over there?
It's good. I like being able to mix it up. I feel like I've done switch back and forth, you know. No, but it's been fun. Back-to-back days with Dane. It's great.
Let everyone know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at hannahclaire.b. You can find me on Twitter at hcbrimo. You should 110% follow at TimCastNews on Instagram and Twitter. It's the best. Otherwise, you should go to timcast.com, click on the read tab. You can see all the work from me and our other journalists. It's excellent. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Dane, where can they find you?
I would like to be seen,
And heard.
felt, and heard.
And validated.
And validated. Thank you, Brett.
Yes.
On Twitter at Dane Font. And now I shall spell that out for you. DANEFONT.
Perfect. Mary, where can they find you?
You can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived and send me hate on Twitter. That is also Mary Archived.
Perfect. Guys, again, thank you for joining us today. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Brett Dasovic on both. This channel is here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is noon Pacific. If you would like to listen to this podcast rather than watch it, it is on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. And if you'd like to follow the show on social media, we are on Twitter at PopCulture_show, Facebook and TikTok at Pop Culture Crisis, and on Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. We will be back with another episode tomorrow. See you then, guys.
Bye.
Bye.